Welcome to Bandirizamwe. Nice, your boy GNL Zamba. And the G is for greatness. N for the nicest. L for the legend, the philosopher, the king. I think we should redefine hip hop to be like a self-love platform, because this is where you talk about yourself in your best light, which I'm in very good spirits, you can tell. And I'm in very good spirits because I have a very special guest here with us today. The very special guest is Mr. Molondo himself, then Mr. Wrap-Up himself, Mayor Wentinda himself, Mr. Notes and Noise.
Yeah.
Mr. Notes and Noise. Omega C, Stories of Elevation, Chikola Sense, when we're here together. And this is a special, by the way. This is a special because we are talking about hip-hop music and end of the week. The performance that's coming up really soon. Kwenda kulikoba artists banji nyo, and tugenda kupera tubyogera ko all through the podcast. We're going to be talking about that. In hip-hop news, the other thing coming up I've heard is Yenze. Yenze is also bubbling under. This sounds like it's going to be a great year for hip-hop music. Mr. Green Amani might be launching something as well. Yes. So, okay. I have Mr. Nelly in the building with me, ladies and gentlemen. Obugalo.
So, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is St.NellySade Nsubuga, a.k.a. Chikola Sense, a.k.a. Kakubidewa.
Yes.
A.k.a. End of the Week, EODAB. Yeah. We are worldwide, global, local, international. We're not BF.
Yes, man. Yeah.
Idangansazeko muchibida introduction temara.
Lanya.
Yeah. But much love. Baboon Forest is always home, and it's not the first time being on it.
Ati wategedde n'okuba green isebo.
Anti nategedde ngenda mu kibira.
Isebo.
Katinga oyina okufaana n'enkobe.
Aha.
Teziraba nti intruder.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So man, it's a beautiful thing to be here. Yeah, like I said, it's home. It's always home. Wetwagalya wetujjako wano.
Wemwagalya wemujira. Yes, sir. Yes. And we are so happy to have you back at the forest. Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Next on my right is a gentleman, producer, songwriter, manager, the Mfalume himself. Yes. Now he's turning into jewelry designing as well. The man is manufacturing his own liquor. And besides liquor and what? Liquor and Vaseline. Liquor, Vaseline, lotion. I'm telling you, Green is heavy in this entrepreneurship business.
Yeah, not baby oil.
Replacing Diddy, yeah?
No, replace the baby with beard oil.
Beard oil. Yeah, Green is a producer, like I said. I'm glad to have you here, Green.
Yeah.
So. And then on the other side, Katikiro yatuganye ebirevu. Osigira.
Katikiro naye n'ebirevu. Okuba basatu. Kisasi kimu.
Atugenda mwogerako Katikiro. Katikiro ow'ekitiibwa.
Ow'ekitiibwa alabika lwakuba tannaweza bino.
Yeah, sorry, let me move this one here. Yeah.
Ajaguleko.
Ensonga lwaki abyogerera bw'atyo.
I can sell him some beard oil if he wants some.
I think the Katikiro is mad at somebody who might have tried to take one of his things.
Yeah, it was a bearded guy.
Because out of nowhere, the guy began shooting bullets at people with beards. Babirevu abo bunyama.
That one guy fits the ball. Bulevu, bunyama.
Oh my God. We need to explore what the Katikiro really meant.
Yeah.
But we have Collins here, representative of the Eastern Uganda, Teso region stand-up, because we have the man, the myth, the legend, Collins, a producer, songwriter, movie actor now, right? Movie actor now, event organizer. Yeah, man, happy to see it. I'm very, very happy to see it. Glad to have you here. Yeah, man. And then usually on the cameras is a gentleman from Chisoro called Jonathan. speaking of Chisoro and Kabale, that area, he's the only man that has ever defeated a gorilla.
Yeah.
He didn't take 100 men. Yeah, ajikwate gorilla najigamba.
Amore is that side.
Eh.
Those guys have corners from Kabale to Kisoro.
The road.
But the road is like this.
Yes,
That
yes, yes,
Amore is that side. Even
Yeah.
Festive season in December was there.
yes.
It's very beautiful and cold.
It's very, very, very beautiful. Very beautiful and
very
cold.
beautiful and too cold.
Yes, yes.
Did you marry from there? What?
No.
Do you think that has an effect on the water sources there, the coldness?
An effect?
Hmm.
No.
Usually water freezes in
I
cold
know,
areas, right?
I know.
Yeah.
No.
It's a long story. It's a long story.
He's a comedian, by the way.
Not really, but the only thing I can tell him, it's a long story because I'm one of the witnesses that side.
Which what was he meaning?
Gwecho manya. That's what I said.
The water heater.
Does Lekemboro freeze?
It doesn't freeze.
Yeah.
It's actually stagnant. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
But it's always available.
It doesn't move like that.
That's the thing you should note.
It doesn't.
It is always
It doesn't
available.
dry.
Yes. But it's a live ecosystem, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are some people when they are looking for water.
Which was?
Guys, this is a PG podcast. Mwefuge.
Uganda Singapore.
Uganda. Oh my God. So guys, by the way, speaking about comedy, right? I was invited to be part of a comedy grill, a roast. For the first time, eh?
You are roasted
By
by the doctor.
But I really had a great time when I was over there preparing for the roast and the grill. It helped me understand the psychology of writing jokes. You get me? And also having your own voice, right?
Yeah.
And also employing these things that we might take for granted, like performance, voice, intonation, timing. You never know. So I was watching the best comedians in Uganda do their job. And I watched a few comedians picking notes. I was already familiar with the idea of a roast. So that helped a little. And I began shooting shots like an assassin. I think I love roasts because I think part of my character likes that. Which that way. I really, really enjoyed this one. Also, backstage was fun. I ran into Gaetano, Prima, Simwe, Madrat and Chico. I'd never seen Madrat and Chico in real life.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd even never met Matembe.
Did they perform?
Yeah, they did.
Those guys kill it.
Yeah, they did.
How tall is Madrat?
Really, really short. Really, really short. When I entered the tent, when I entered the tent, I saw the big one.
Yeah.
I saw the big one. And I was like, okay, where is your partner? I thought that he was standing behind because one is big, or he's so close, he's covering the other person. Then I felt someone tapping me in the Kuntumbwe one.
Not even the knee.
No, Kuntumbwe. I think he was standing on his tippy toes. He was like,
Trying to reach out.
GNL. Then I was like, hey, Madrat. I was saying, people kept on bumping into him. At one point, someone put a lipstick thing on a table. I think it was Nana who put a lipstick thing on a table, and he couldn't see the other side. He was obstructing him.
Wait for his comeback.
Stick was obstructed.
Bandi mutaginzo omusajja.
You wait for his comeback.
Oh, Miriam Matembe was like, she can trace back to when Uganda began degenerating morally. And then she gave this whole long monologue of how it began with Gaetano Kagwa.
Big brother.
Yeah. And she was the Minister of Ethics and Integrity. You guys need to watch this when it comes out. Big shout outs to Anne Kansime. She did an amazing job putting everybody together, running her team, and also delivering like a very nice set, you know?
Yeah, and doing the unexpected.
what was the unexpected?
You and Matembe.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Who
true.
would
Yes.
think of such an idea?
Yes,
yeah?
yes. Very true.
And the costumes were on point.
Yeah, man.
The stage was well lit.
Yes.
It was dope.
Oh, I also met Skylanta for the very, very first time.
But are they still dating over content?
No, it looked like they were together. Yeah.
But to me,
there is a lot of unity. There's unity. Yeah. It looked like they were
co-parenting.
It looked like I can't tell because I was also like there between drinks and sips and this and that. Like I wasn't like really observing what was going on, but it's possible. But all I can say is that I saw a lot of Uganda. Maybe because I've taken long without like being among a crowd. That was the very first time I really went out to like really see a big crowd in a show setting, right?
Yeah.
But it felt like there was a lot of love in the area, backstage and also in front of the stage, right? A lot of like it was a warm place to be, basically. Like I've taken long without seeing that. Yeah.
Okay.
I will tell you about the after party, but these things are. Let me just keep those ones behind the curtain.
After party?
Was it a freak off? Who was the
Oh,
Didi?
you see when you tell these people?
Yeah, who was the Didi?
Was they a freak off? You're comedian, eh?
You wanted to market some baby oil.
Hey, you want to market
course,
this
man.
baby oil?
Baby oil. What do you baby oil, my guy?
Beard oil.
You get?
Beard oil.
Yeah.
Oh man! But it was fun. It was fun. Everybody was in there. Everybody, and this time it was like people really dancing. Do you know this generation does not know how to dance? The Gen Zs don't know how to dance.
You know, the thing I hate about like these days, you go to a bar and everybody is just looking at each other.
They're on phone.
Well, they're on phone, they're
Yeah.
drinking. I'm like, you left your home just to come and sit and drink?
And they,
Like, where's
they
the party?
seclude themselves, ladies alone, men alone.
Yeah.
You get, like, there's no vibe of a party.
Men alone, ladies alone.
Eringanga bull dance is like
It's
a
like a
single
bull
school.
dance.
Yeah.
At least the bull dance. This
Yes.
here is just sits and looks at everybody.
Yeah.
You left your home to come and sit and look at people?
I think it's a Gen Z thing because first we should dance and sweat. I think for them they are too cool to dance.
But even clubs these days don't have dance floors.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Most clubs just have like seats. Eh?
Yeah.
Dance
more
from
seats.
where you sit from.
Hey, that would be unheard of. Or English still looking at all of them as seats. Did you guys ever go to Silk? Nelly, did you ever go to Silk?
Yeah.
Club Silk.
But by the time I went to Silk,
Yeah.
yali egalao. Yali egalao.
Yes.
That's the time of UG Cypher.
Yes.
Remember we premiered the UG Cypher there?
Was I there?
Yeah.
Huh.
You came through.
Because I was on the UG side.
Yali
Are you talking about maybe Vuka?
No, UG Cypher. Maybe you didn't come at the premiere, but we premiered it.
Yeah. Maybe I did come at that. I don't remember being at the
But I
premiere.
didn't come to Silk when it was on its peak.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You guys were doing these things.
Yeah, because they used to
For
bounce.
this, you did that shit? We're talking about stealing electricity, eh? But you guys, the guy who invented or discovered how to rub that alcohol stamp onto another hand.
My boy went straight to Ginger Road Police Station.
For what? For doing that?
I don't know what they used.
Yeah. Sorry, let me move this closer.
They must have used some sort of, or whether they went to NASA and got their own version of that stamp.
Yes.
Something like that. But they took the whole crew to, remember, Ginger Road Police was just opposite.
Yes.
The guy comes and finds the club full, but
it was a Christmas.
Yeah.
Because I remember we got bounced.
Yes.
That day. But Silky ina kamanyiro ko gamba mboli muto.
Yeah. But you know, for me, I got that kamanyiro again from Angenois.
Yeah, Oli Muto.
They used to just play Oli Muto.
Hey, yeah. You know, guys, me I told some guy I'm tall. I can't see me have a warm.
It's not about being tall.
I had a friend who was very short.
Yeah.
Okay, not very short, but he's short. So he used to have a mustache.
Mm.
But then there is and he put on a coat.
Short with a mustache, like Charlie Chaplin.
Something of sorts.
Yeah.
But he was fat-ish.
Mm.
So he would always wear a coat and, we would get into the club freely.
Yes.
Then I don't know what happened. One day,
Yeah.
he had cut it off and he didn't move with his coat.
Yeah.
So he looks like a kid.
That day they bounced
And
him.
they were like, "Gwe."
He couldn't
Yeah.
believe he was like,
Yeah.
the whole time. What made me laugh was his reaction is like, this has never happened to me.
Yes.
He was
He
shocked.
didn't understand why.
Yeah.
But they no longer bounce people.
Because people
these
need
days.
money. People need money. And the standards have also been lowered.
Maybe.
The standards have also been lowered.
But
Guys, let me ask you something before we jump onto the main topics of this podcast, right? Do you remember the very first time you entered a nightclub and what song was playing? Collins.
I can't remember.
Okay, how about you?
may I remember?
Mm-hmm.
There was a club in Banda there.
Yes.
I don't remember the name of the club.
Mm-hmm.
But the first song I heard was Akagoma,
Bobby Wine?
Bobby Wine. Yeah, and it
Okay.
was a hit then.
Yes.
Kano Kagoma Kalubende.
That song was a banger.
Yes.
That song was a banger.
Actually, I still remember, before even asking, actually, we were talking about this same topic, like 2 months ago
Yes.
with my guys.
Uh-huh.
Simanyi oba wabawuliranga babuuza ekibuuzo ekyo, but
Uh-huh.
this was the same question.
Uh-huh.
Your first song.
Really?
Yeah.
Someone asked the question?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Nze Kagoma.
Kagoma.
Kagoma Kalubendera.
That song was hard.
And
that song was
stuck
really,
into
really
my
hard.
head. I even bought that tape
Yes.
in old tax bar.
Yes. Kagoma. Do you remember?
It was We Were on Fire, the reggaeton thing of R. Kelly. Burn it
You
up.
got
That reggaeton. Yeah.
what? You didn't have money, you took long without entering a nightclub.
Yeah,
We
man.
were old.
When boarding school.
Eh.
Is Kadanke
Was it when you were
club?
studying to become a priest?
Nah.
Okay.
Is Kadanke club?
A priest.
And priests, you really have to be like this. There's no
And-
escaping
and
from
you have-
dormitory or.
You have to stay virgin. not
Yes, you have to stay a virgin for very, very. Actually, until you
Forever.
die. Forever.
Wow, those guys be my.
But what I don't understand about
That
that.
is different. That is different.
Now you've just planted an image in our minds of a reverend doing the guys,
Yeah.
marketing is baby oil.
But that is
No,
still-
no, but
That
you
is
see,
still different.
there's even a very big scandal.
From the actual
Like, there's
scene.
a big scandal between those guys. I hear they were like molesting kids and stuff.
Yeah, that's an ongoing thing.
Yeah, so those guys are not really.
Because the commandment was go produce and multiply. There's no
Yeah.
commandment like don't marry and have.
Yeah.
How do
No,
they interpret
no.
that? Yeah.
Celibacy.
Celibacy.
It's there in the Bible. I think Paul is the one.
Those
You know,
guys.
Like, if you can't.
Paul is new school now. We're talking
That's what
about
the guy
old
said.
school God. That's the one that really matters.
The guy said that if
You need to know those things.
Old-
no, there's when Paul said like, if you survive having a wife, you've survived a lot of trouble.
But don't you guys think?
Are you serious?
Yes.
But don't you think God?
the guy himself
God,
made wine.
God can punish you for not using the machines.
The machines gave you the
Yeah.
so kukube one. Bakugamba we
How can I
got
create with all the machines?
Yeah,
they are
everything is
functional,
working.
And you come back
The
with
mission
them.
is to produce,
And
dominate.
that's why they ended up doing those funny things.
They
of
ended up doing
molesting,
all those
because
funny-
the body
yeah.
demands.
The body
But
demands.
Also,
Yeah,
how
it's
you
nature.
use the machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What you use them
understand.
for. So there are rules to govern everything. You
Do
can't.
you know me? I can take a full month without using them, and I get sick, and I end up getting sick.
Yeah, the back starts paining.
Omutwe gukuluma, ebyenda ne bitokota, totambula bulungi.
What machines are we talking about?
Back pain. Man, I can't survive.
Mental
man,
torture,
without
back
using
pain.
the-
Yeah, stuff, eh? There's something natural and very cathartic about using
That's why they even allow
about
that stuff
using
in
your
prison.
tools. Yeah. What?
In prison?
Yeah.
They do what?
The conjugal rights, like
Yeah, they allow
they
people
allow
to
your
yeah.
partners to come.
Yeah.
Not in Uganda prisons.
Have you been there?
I haven't been there, but I had someone who was there.
Have you been there?
No.
Okay. I was going to ask if
There
you
is-
dropped the soap.
But who can give you when you are in prison, but none?
The female cops.
No, like there's
They're only too
a
touchy,
room
yeah.
where they can allow you and
Yeah, in the US actually, it's because it's considered a basic human right. So the reward actually is given for the prisoners that exhibit exemplary behavior. Like you've been disciplined.
it's like a reward.
It's like a reward for because do you know when footballers are going for matches, they tell them don't have sex
Yeah.
because it takes something away from the man and his energy. It takes some focus. When you haven't had sex for a very long time, you're so focused.
Yeah.
You're so focused. Basically, your manly energy. What do the
Yeah.
Your manly
Testosterone.
energy, testosterone, is like
Yeah.
on a high. So you're like an animal, basically, in a jungle. All your senses are so heightened, don't you know, right? So footballers are told not to do the thing, the act, not to have sex before
That's one of
before
the best
important
rewards.
matches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because
even in prison, so when these people are like, if they take long without having the aggression,
But how?
Yeah.
But
the
how?
fights are so
How do they
many.
reward you? Do they give you options that we have this?
No, your partner.
No. Actually, it's for your partner. It's
Your
actually
partner visits.
actually it only even works for people who are married. I think officially married. That's when they allow you conjugal visits. They don't give you. So most people do. Have you heard of this phenomena of women who are single who marry guys who are in prison? It's a thing in the
Yeah.
US. Like
Wow.
women
Yes.
actually marry guys when a
Outside
guy is
the-
on life,
Yeah.
but just because they want to get the chow and the
From one hour,
some-
Richard Dondo. It takes only one man for her to move on.
she moves on. Eh?
Yeah.
No, this is women who are like they just begin writing pen pal. She pays for the guy's calls to call her because this call is from an inmate. She's like, yes, I'll
What
pay
level
for
of loneliness do you have to be?
Do you know what's surprising?
That kind of stuff.
These are things which are like, what are we talking about? But these are things which are like really surprising in the world. Eh?
Yeah.
That you can't believe it's happening because you thinking people follow logic. Yeah?
Yeah.
So there was a statistic that said most millionaires' daughters in Japan were the ones most involved in prostitution. Wow. It doesn't make any sense. Your dad is a millionaire. Why would you be prostituting yourself? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Just like in the US, why would someone who is single with all the men in the world want to marry a guy
In prison.
in prison? It doesn't make any sense. But these things happen.
Yeah.
These things are there.
Because such a guy cannot cheat. Yeah. You are well assured.
And unless it's bi.
Or
If
you-
it's bi.
He's dropping the soap.
If it's bi, it might be dropping. I should take that guy one.
You are 100%
Eh.
sure. Or you are against
Maybe
them.
we should start advocating for conjugal visits
And I have a feeling.
in Uganda.
But our prisons are too dirty.
Are you sure? No.
Didn't you see
The hygiene there
Big
is
Ben's
serious.
post?
Which guy?
He was in a cell, not even prison. It was like where you shit and
Eddie
where
Mutwe.
you piss.
No, Big Ben.
Is where you sleep.
By the way,
But
what
that
had
was
he
a
done?
cell, not a prison.
That's
What
what I'm
had-
saying.
What had
Cells are
Big Ben done?
different.
Oh, cells are worse than prisons?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a
They
difference.
are
There's a difference between
Because-
prison and jail.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
jail.
Cell
No,
and
there's,
jail.
there's a work at Williams explaining.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, first slow down. I've had so many good stories in here. We need to explore this topic.
Okay.
They say if you want to know if a society is civilized,
Yeah.
you look at the nature of its prisons.
Yes.
So if somebody does a video of this is where we eat and this is where we shit, you know the state of Uganda is there.
Yes.
Or of your society, wherever you're watching this from. Tanzania, Zambia, wherever you see that the prison is sober, that reflects the nature of the society. Also psychologically,
Yes.
there's just neglect, basically.
Yeah.
So, another thing you guys mentioned, Big Ben is in jail?
He was in jail.
He was.
Explain, please. What happened?
He posted and he was like, I'm at CPS.
For those who don't know, Big Ben is a hip-hop artist.
Yeah, hip-hop
From
artist.
Bali.
From Bali, one of the greatest from Bali.
Yeah.
Where he
Yes.
signed out, he was like, Bali people have showed him so much hate, so
He will never perform in Bali.
he will never perform in Bali.
But
again.
what was the cause of him going to prison?
I think it was his friends who took him to prison.
One of the managers.
Why would your friend...
He, was,
That-
he said,
You see, the things that don't make
keep
sense. How can your
mentioning
friend
Jeff.
take you to prison?
You guys.
because to me, when he mentioned the names, I'm like, these are the people you've sung about in your tracks.
Really?
Yeah. So I was surprised.
Actually, I first saw that post on Baboon Forest
News.
IG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know anything, but out of the blue,
Yes.
I think he tweeted
Yeah.
that same day when he went to the cells before.
And after,
I think
3
before
days,
giving away his phone.
Oh,
That's when I saw.
So the post about I'm leaving Bali was before he went to jail?
No, this is where.
Oh, this
That's
is
way
different.
after.
This is recent.
Okay,
It's
okay,
different.
okay.
But I think he tweeted because as soon as I saw the post, I went straight to the to X and I checked out his timeline. I was like, this is serious.
Yeah.
But that's terrible, man.
So at Baboon Forest, there's a person who's actually very close to Big Ben. And there was a time I saw something online where I was like, you know what? I think Big Ben needs a friend. And I told the person who is close to this person, I was like, have you checked on your guy? Like, this does not look okay. This does not line up with the person
But he
that...
has gone through some hard times of
Yeah,
recent.
yeah, yeah. So
He
I
just
told
lost
this
the
guy.
mother.
So I told this guy,
He
check on your guy, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what the hard times are? What's going on? Because sometimes some other guy was about saying, "Oh, I saw Big Ben at this hotel and he was eating food, the basman on the table, and I didn't believe that.
Me, the
crap.
thing that I
Yeah.
know, like a few months ago, weeks actually, it's not months, he had
Yeah.
lost the mom.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's really
and
bad.
then we come to hear that he was in prison. I'm like, some had.
Man,
Hard time to be in.
let's send some prayers out to Big Ben, whatever you're going through. I
We
hope
love
that we love you. We love you, basically. If Mbale doesn't want to have you, Kampala is ready to have you.
Yeah,
Yes, you know.
come back.
Yeah, come back here, come back here, come
Class
hustle. And,
Come to Baboon.
Yes, until you reorganize yourself, because home is always home. You'll go back. You'll go back. I think that post was also out of anger, because sometimes you reach your limit, and you're like, now hear these people. With all the love I've shown you, the representation, and this is how I'm being treated.
But he did.
You get me?
He has represented.
He has really
Bali.
represented
He has
Bali, yeah.
Represented
Yeah.
Masava.
Yes. So
Yeah,
if Big Ben is wrong, whatever is going on, Mbale should take care of him.
Yes.
Because out here he's the representative of
Yes.
of Mbale, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever is going on, we pray that you go through all of that. Sorry that you lost your mom.
Yeah.
Most people describe that pain as the most unbearable.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
That's what you believe. I always knocking on wood. I'm like, it's a form of a
Bang.
I think it has to be real
Bang
wood,
the
eh?
table.
It's a form of a ritual.
On the table.
When they tell this guy to knock on wood, he knocks on his own machine.
Somebody just
But
said
you
bang the
know,
tables.
There was a time I was
The rebels.
I was on the border.
Mm.
So this guy told me, I don't know what we're talking about. I think it was about prison. Then he was like, "Yo, me, to be honest, I just came from prison.
Wow.
You know."
On a border, he was your border rider.
Yeah, it was writing.
Yeah.
He was like, "I'll be honest with you. I just came from prison.
Mm.
I'm trying to do right."
Mm.
Then he was like, "Whoever wishes prison on anyone is wishing them death."
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That's
You
true.
know.
That's true.
So when Big Ben's friends took him to prison, it just dawned on me now that going back to that statement, like whatever transpires between friends and
Yeah.
it pushes you to an extent.
Or
of,
taking
you know,
one to prison.
I've ever been in a jail for a few hours.
Mm.
It wasn't long, but it was a few hours. You get me? And that shit was tough.
Yeah.
Not just, there were guys there who were at home. Eh? Even some guys got beaten up, like in front of. But when I got in there, guys wanted me to perform for them. I'm like, guys, first give me a minute. You get me? But after like a few hours of like being in there, my lawyer came. Guy was useless. And then not useless that in a way that he couldn't. There's where a person leaves you, yet he's supposed to solve your problems. You get me? Eh? But then he came in there and he was talking to me like he's a parent. Instead of being like, I'm your retainer to defend me. Stop talking to me like, why did you behave like that? No, nigga. This is where you step in and get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So he acted like he was my big brother, like he was angry with me because... And the dude left. I'm like, look at this guy.
So he first left you there to get
He
disciplined.
left me there. You get me? But those few hours I spent inside the cell taught me so much about life that I would never want to see another person in there or lose their freedom in a cell, right? Have any of you guys ever been to a cell?
No.
You have never?
No.
You've never?
Almost, but I didn't.
Almost, but you didn't. What happened?
The police guys would always stop on the way and
You negotiate.
I made a statement sometime we're coming out of Embassy Supermarket. And then I didn't know that these guys had. And
What
they
did you
were
say?
Pissed.
What did you
They're
say?
called SPCs.
So, stupid police
Yeah,
custom.
that's what I said.
Wait, is that a thing? Is that a thing that's what they call them?
It was then they had created a special unit or whatever.
There's a special unit called SPC.
Oh, no, you deserve to go to jail. You deserve to go to jail.
You know, and they had sent us for milk. We were like 3 guys.
Yeah.
One of them now, one of my guys were like, man, it's not me who said it.
The guy felt
Run away.
insulted.
Yeah.
Then the other guy was like, you're going to run away. Then he first, he's like, today I'm ready. You guys have over disrespected us. I told this guy, man, let's just follow these guys and go.
Oh my
I
God.
went on negotiating.
I don't know why people don't like being called stupid. You can do anything to somebody, but once you add the word stupid, that insult.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? So the guy finally let you go.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know, my dad taught me one thing. It was like, if you're in the hands of authority,
Yeah.
just try as much as you can to let them be the big people, like
Let him feel his strength and their power.
be like,
Don't try to,
Be the small person.
because even if you call me, by the time I get there, they would have beaten the hell out of us. We can defend you.
That's how I
otherwise,
ended up
but,
inside.
you know.
The guy kept on calling me. I was like, wow, I'm not around.
Yeah.
Guy kept on like, wow, come over here. We have some stuff to solve. I'm like, you solve it yourself. Basically, I was in my teenage years.
Yeah.
Not teenage. I was already in my early 20s. But I had that arrogance of, man, I have things to do than,
Yeah.
than
Just
come
become
see
a
you guys.
superstar.
Yeah, I've just become a superstar, making money. I have shows booked. You're telling me to come and solve this thing. And by the way, it was a very, very simple thing. I just had to go there for a few. But that's because I disrespect. And for me, I didn't know I was talking to like the top guy.
Like such yourself.
So the guy had to show you.
The guy was like, we need you to come. Like, now he's angry. I'm like, I'm flying out today. I'll see you when I come back. Hey, I'm on your program. Now I'm there in the middle watching my TV. This guy show up at my place.
Like,
Isn't that crazy?
crazy.
It's crazy. Shit crazy. Nelly, have you ever been in a jail?
Almost.
What happened?
Yeah, I was just chilling with guys, smoking weed, and when police came,
Yeah.
they swept everyone.
Everybody. So you were in the wrong place.
I don't disorder.
But on the van, on that Kabangali, I kept pleading to some policeman.
Yes.
Okay, big guy, me, I've never tasted any of these things. Please, we need to talk. Then something came into my mind.
To jump off.
No, I didn't jump off. While I was pleading,
Yeah.
I remembered I had some cash. So, on top of pleading, I added something. And also, because
Yes. Yes.
because these other guys accepted, and they were caught red-handed.
Red-handed, yeah.
But me, I was just chilling. He kept telling me, gee, wobera n'ababbi now bamubi child drug addict now.
Being in the wrong place at the wrong
reaching
time.
the police station,
Yeah.
he just told the OC, this one is clean, but he should first enter your office. So they put the rest inside.
Yeah.
So I had to talk to them. I added Kitu Kidogo.
Yes.
I scattered from the police.
But that's a wise thing to do.
That's a very, very wise thing to do.
No, I scattered. I didn't even look behind.
Because man, jokingly, you end up in museum.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, and those guys slept there for two days. Yeah. And they paid a lot of money. So that's how I survived.
You're lucky. You're very, very lucky.
That's how I survived.
Another time you guys we had a show in, I think it was Mbale Oigang. We're coming like from the east. So we stop in Jinja, eat our food with bit money, right? Now we're speeding to come back and make Kampala money. So my driver was stepping on it. And by stepping on it, this really means he was flooring the accelerator. Bati kubati. We passed some guys around Mavira there. Guys like Nyemirire. I'm like, wow, let's go. But the guy chased us like up to like that roundabout. Yeah. Lugazi. Wow. They caught up to us in Lugazi. Actually, we didn't even finish the roundabout, but there's a capital station there where they just like now did this.
Yes.
You guy, they caught my driver and beat him the fuck up. Like in front of me right there. Like they beat the guy up and then they just took him on the Kabangali to the what? The police station. The guys were pissed off because they had been chasing us for some time. So I begin like, now it's like mona now a little bit. So I get in the car, go to the guy, talk to the police guy, right? Over there. And of course, a talk had to be made, apologies, this and that. Some stuff had to be paid. But my guy is inside. This is happening while inside. The guy was in there for a very short time. I think about 15 minutes, right? But by the time he came out of there, he was unrecognizable.
That guys also beat him.
The guy is inside. He found inside. He told me, Bamgamba Kolecha, but his fingers were all bleeding. I'm like, for that very short time.
So they tell you to do this.
Omusajja otwali avuga buvuzi motoka boss amugambe tugerewa eno naye yali anyumirwa okiraba but they made him make chapatis and his fingers were bleeding. I saw that. I was like, okay, that's another thing I add on to the story of you never want somebody's innocent child to end up in there. This one is guilty, but even though we have some history, so I would still don't want him to suffer. Okiraba.
But he keeps acting
let karma come to him. You know, it won't be me.
He's acting like he won.
He's acting. Of course, he's acting like he won. He's an idiot. But let karma deal with him. Life is moving on very beautifully.
We even have the footage of him stealing.
There are cameras here.
Hey, you even had evidence.
Of course,
it's still there. We still
evidence
have
is there. And here's the thing too. This here is what makes him an idiot, to think that he has won. If you own an Apple TV or any Apple thing, I can just log in from anywhere in the world and lock it.
Yes.
But I'm still allowing him to use it.
Sure.
I don't know if it's still online, but for some time I would see the computer come online and I would get a notification on a phone. So I knew exactly where he was because the location is turned on the shit.
Yeah. And also,
but I was like, I don't have the time.
And even apart from that, the industry is a very small circle.
Very small.
Easy to get in.
Very small. But you mentioned something interesting, which made me laugh. When you said, "Wake Kawempe with you," I said, no, Kawempe, we don't behave like that. So one time I was speaking to someone who's in law enforcement, and he was telling me the types of thieves from what type of ghettos. Like, these ones snatch phones, these ones steal and kill. These ones are like this one. So all ghettos in Kampala have characteristics of the thieves that dwell in that place. But what about many bakubiachi? Those guys are from this other part. So ketusokere one. What you take it?
It's actually funny that this guy's been knowing the thieves.
They've been knowing them because they are repeat offenders. Like, you can't imprison someone for life. If he snatched a bag.
A bag,
so he's going to be on the street after like a few months. Oh yeah.
Then do the same thing
Then
again.
do the same thing again. So you know, onomumanyi. Yeah. That's life. That's our life. That's our Uganda.
That's life, man.
Yes. Let me ask you guys, comedy and hip hop. Comedy and hip hop, right?
Yeah.
Do you see the correlation there?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's entertainment.
It's entertainment, right?
Yeah.
It's both entertainment.
And you have to have some intellect in it.
Yes, the intellectual capacity to create and work good.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch the Def Jam? Def Jam comedy?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I
watched
think
a few episodes.
if you're a storyteller, comedy might.
Yeah.
If you enjoy stories, basically.
Yeah.
And I think most rappers do that. So why is Dolly Bondo saying that comedy is dead in Uganda?
Actually saw the post on Baboon Forest,
Mm.
and I think it was on a certain. He was being interviewed,
Yes.
and he said that a lot of mediocres are joining comedy.
Mm.
It needs a reshuffle.
Yes.
I don't know who's responsible for reshuffling, but
Maybe.
But now what is working? Because this guy say hip hop is dead.
Hip hop is
Comedy
dead, music is dead.
Now which one is
What's
working?
working?
What's working in our society, basically?
But the word dead is over being used.
Yeah, it's
We need Dolly Bondo
People
to
just
explain to us in
throw it
detail.
around.
Mm.
Because if you say hip hop is dead, now the
But
comedy
what did
industry
he
is dead.
mean with the reshuffle? Like,
it needs.
But that means that you have to kill the entire industry.
Yeah.
Dolly Bondo trying planning to be a terrorist.
And then I think he also made a comment whereby he said Comedy Store was,
Killing.
because it gives more platform to artists than comedians, like headlining.
Oh, there's a
and all
point
that.
there. There's a point there.
Headlining.
That more the time is for artists to perform instead of more comedians doing comedy on a comedian platform. That one is a good point. That one is a good point. That
Yeah.
now
Yeah,
don't
but
quote me on this because there's money to be made there.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
There's money to be made
But
there.
G-
Yeah.
is it the singers that bring the crowd or the comedians?
It's the chief comedian, Alex Mohanji. Alex Mohanji, you're under attack again.
but he balances.
He
Do the fans
balances.
go to watch
Ever-
artists or comedians?
Yeah.
I performed at Comedy Store
Yeah.
twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I realized that it's always Kasavu Kanyama. Comedian than a performer.
Comedian
Dolly Bondo is
performer.
And
just
usually
jealous.
comedians are always more than the artists, the
Yeah.
singers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's a comedy
I've
show.
never performed there, by the way.
They are
I've
always
never-
because he has the first entire hour where he gives young comedians a
Yes.
platform.
Yes.
And
I'm
you
sure
don't know
that's-
them, but you just laugh. You're just laughing before even entertainers.
Yes.
Before artists.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I don't agree with you.
I think
Comedians are always more than the artists.
Yeah.
Point
Yeah.
was, during their days of rockers and all,
Yes.
they had music in comedy.
Mm.
And the musicians was either a band,
Yes.
it was an artist.
Oh, so it
an
was.
opener,
Oh, it was just an opener.
and comedians
Curtain raiser.
But I think it's also.
But
I think,
artists were a few even.
yeah. Mm-hmm. That is on the night you performed.
No. Back then, because artists, we had few artists like musicians.
Ulimba guy abayimbi baali bangi.
As compared to the
To now?
to the comedians he's talking about, because
Or the comedians were fewer than the artists.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
and I think it was more of a spotlight back then for the comedians to get known, or
Yeah.
it must have been a platform for comedians to grow back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they used less musicians than
Yes.
comedians.
There are 2 points I'm picking from your experience at Comedy Store to what Mr. Dolly Bondo is saying. One thing is that the crowd will always choose and dictate what they want to see. If the crowd is okay with seeing musicians and comedians half and half,
Yeah.
you can't tell someone who has created their platform, which is working
on
on how to run their business.
platform.
Yes.
Or whatever. So the onus then falls on the person who's saying,
Yeah.
create your own platform where none of that happens.
Where does one the other
Because you
get
also
change
have
his
the
winning
power.
formula?
Yes, nobody has to change things for you. You have to do these things for yourself. The things that you are the change that you want to see.
It begins
Yeah.
with you.
And the
It
thing
begins
with,
with
with Muhanji,
Yeah.
sometimes it's his own way of choosing artists. It's not all about trending and all stuff. Because there's the time he recommended them.
Yes.
I want to bring you some guy who raps up like they didn't know me. Just
Yes.
he just put me on the stage.
But you're funny though. I was just in a. I've just seen the one you did. And then leave alone that one. There was one I was seeing on a wrap up you did here where you were talking about
2019
when they brought the women. Uganda, it was the 2019 one where you were talking about how
Miss
our
Kavi.
Ministry of Tourism made Miss Kavi.
Yes.
The way you delivered that was funny. I see how you would fit in this.
Actually,
in this lineup.
That was the second time
Yeah.
performing at Comedy Store because I performed that very wrap up 2019.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how was the experience? You killed?
They listened.
Okay, cool.
By
cool,
then,
cool. Yes.
he had a crowd that listens,
Yes.
and then they react later.
After.
Because actually, it was my first time being given man on stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Baliba fool.
Like, you earn more than what Mohanji has paid.
Actually.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Mohanji has learned the American way of paying at waitresses with tips instead of salary.
But the good thing, he pays.
But before, I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to ask you a question, yeah? As a performer.
Yeah.
And let me preface it with this. In the US, when you go to a comedy store, only comedy strictly, start to finish.
Yes.
The guy announcing comedian, the whole lineup comedian. But let me ask you something. There's something which you've hinted on. As a performer, do you prefer the crowd applauding at the end, or do you prefer everything in the middle?
Everything in the middle.
Okay.
Like,
Why?
You just feel a bar. There's a way it gives you that energy and courage to move forward. And it makes more sense when someone is really applauding you that, oh man, that's fine, that's dope. Yeah? There's a way you feel because if you are waiting for an upload at the end of the song, man, sometimes you might think of
It's like guys are not feeling your performance.
I understand at some point,
feelings.
especially when it's a new crowd, they always tend to to know you more, like, who is this one now?
They want to listen.
They want to listen and fully understand. Is it the right time to tell him, go, buy yo, or we should wait?
The master of bottles.
There's also that kind of crowd. They give you some time, to fully understand and get to know whether you are worth staying on the stage or that's enough for you and begin that no. Yeah. So those are two different crowds. Yeah. Yes, but what pains more sometimes is that kind of crowd that really knows you, and they have been seeing you or watching you perform, and then out of the blue they just don't feel you. It's a different thing. It makes you check yourself. As an artist, no gamba, okay. Maybe I need to change. I need to switch it up. Maybe
the
I
performance.
need
to add something.
Maybe I need to change the performance. Maybe, So it's a different case out there.
So you prefer live feedback?
Yes, of course.
Vibe.
I prefer that live feedback. Yeah.
Isn't it a Ugandan way of, because I trust me, I'm the same too.
Yes.
I so prefer live feedback. Boju, will it the yes?
Yes.
Shout along with me, give me your hands.
it.
But is it an African thing where that's how we party, and yet the Europeans love taking everything in, then they clap after?
Like I was telling them, there are always different audiences.
Yes.
There's that new audience that is just starstruck, that is surprised that there's someone new. Okay, what do you have for us? Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes they are testing you if you should stay on stage or
Bounce.
we should make you bounce. Again,
They're still making up their minds.
yes. So by the time that's why if you are a new performer
Yeah.
and you realize that the crowd is not really responding,
Yes.
it's always good to conclude, to be precise, or to
Yeah.
switch it up. Be like,
Don't give them more songs they have never heard. Don't bother them.
Yes.
Or engage them, right?
Or engage them at some point.
Yeah.
So I was just giving you those both side of the crowds.
Yes.
The other crowd when they see someone new,
Yeah.
and this other crowd where they know you, but you need to prove them more.
Yeah.
Switch up your performance. You need to step it up.
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, that kind of crowd cannot even chase you off stage.
Yes.
They just be like, okay, maybe.
They are waiting for the next.
Let me ask you, because there's something which disturbs me sometimes.
Yeah.
When I see a diva like a Juliana, Irene, which other diva do we have besides those two in Uganda?
Shiba diva.
Okay, Shiba, Sagala Shibaholics, Rema is a diva now. Nava Grey. Okay,
Yeah.
Juliana. Okay, yeah, that's a good list. Juliana, Irene, Nava Grey. And this is not in criteria, by the way, because all of them are different in the number bit, the number because divas.
So that's the trick you use, not in order.
Not in order. This is not in order strictly. But so far you've given me 3 divas. Okay, 4 divas. You've given me 4 divas.
Yeah.
There's where maybe also the setting matters. If I see you at a Chivulu at a bar, I think I can walk up to you and give you money. But when I see a diva at Serena doing a thing, I don't want to see a guy walking on stage interrupting a very good song with soko kwatezi ne 12 oba 15.
That's why the other guys bounced off my chorus.
That's
who was the diva in this instance?
it all goes back to the crowd. Like, which crowd are you performing?
Which crowd are you performing?
Like,
but also it's
Be your
the
own
crowd at
people.
Serena is totally different from a crowd at Nachivobo.
At Nachivobo, yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because the Serena crowd is well seated and the kind of
I also saw this at Serena,
Mm.
by the way. I think it's a culture where band people are doing shows at Serena as well. And it's part of the culture to appreciate somebody by giving them money. There was a show I saw. I Ronald Mainger's show. Yes, and they were moving on to the stage and giving them money. But I think in such a setting, I would prefer
Put a basket.
you put maybe a tip jar at the front,
Use the
because
church
it
formula.
interrupts and takes away from nekilesio properly from being delivered, because this guy is still stuffing money into the guy's boob. It takes away from even when the show is being filmed, by the way.
Yeah.
It looks bad.
It looks bad.
Yeah.
Like all of you are walking there, falling. The other one is water. They like a lot of
Yeah, it looks
kabuyo.
they are disorganized
The
at
focus
some
should
point.
be on the performance and the art.
But that's where Ugandans want to show off.
Eh?
They have more money. So let me come.
And,
You come to the band
it
and
all
then
goes
starts
back to the
moving.
crowds.
Yes,
Like
yes.
that kind of crowd that Ronald Mainja.
Yes.
You might find some bagaga, Sajja Bachilumira,
Yes.
would want to prove a point that, okay,
Number.
but today 50K, natural band
Bundle.
500.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a show off.
Yeah.
And I feel like the real people who give genuinely are the ghetto people.
Yeah. Because he gives what
Mwana
they have.
kwata nagamba mwana. I like that.
They give genuinely,
Yes.
not for the sake of
Showing
okay,
off.
they have to see me. Although Serena bambaitira dana ku camera na
But-
asoka na posing.
Nakola what? The cameraman is busy dancing.
Chokola sometimes abagabe nyinja izoga but this 500 why don't I just
First
give him 10.
10.
Yeah.
Ngamba, okay, one vaje tegera muwadde nyinji. So it's a different crowd out there.
Guys, do you know that it's the opposite in the US? In the US, rappers actually feel like fighting people who give them money on stage.
Yeah.
Because in the US, it's the whores, the prostitutes, and not prostitutes, sorry, the strippers When you go to a strip club, you get your $1,
Yeah.
and you begin throwing one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, it happened to Rick Ross one time. He got the money, and he got a bundle out and began slapping the guy who gave him money with more money.
It's like, go on.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're
Do
calling
that.
someone a whore. You're the
Yeah.
whore that's on stage. I'm giving you what?
Yeah.
Yeah. But even us here, most musicians are whores. Ask me how.
Of course.
Because most people before their shows have to prostitute. I shouldn't be saying shit like this because I might also have a show.
You speak it. This is hip hop.
But it's why can't Ugandan artists be respected when they are on their feet? Why do they have to be respected
to
when
beg.
they are kneeling and begging? Why doesn't the giving hand come with some
Respect.
sort of respect?
Because most of them are not talented. Like they don't trust their art.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to have that extra chitone.
Man,
yeah?
these guys actually they kneel
The chitone for
on a
begging.
TV screen.
begging.
Banange, muje musho yange, on his knees.
And that's a different case. But in this case of asking for money when I support me, yes,
Yeah.
they end up giving in, for money. They end up,
So we basically, it's the poverty that leads to us being humiliated.
Exactly.
Sympathy card.
And besides the poverty, sometimes it's about not trusting your craft.
Your craft and your
Because-
fans, by
and
the
your
way.
fans, because
Yes,
sometimes if you know your worth and your craft,
Yes.
sometimes things just be a color of your car. Unlike when you are there, like we have a new artist, Mchara, Uneye Binalirim. Mutunda, yeah. Just to, hey, nyash,
Nyash.
because at the end of
Why are
the
you talking
day,
about Sesia Mayanja?
No.
No.
That's the Shama.
Of course, I'm trying to divert you
Sesia
from.
Mayanja is not a big
I'm trying to divert you from beating my
Not a new
friend.
artist.
And that's not the kind of us that can give you.
Hey,
that kind of
somebody there, no,
No,
somebody there.
Sabula, I'm just being honest.
Yes,
Because
Who is this person you're talking about?
but the body and the ass has to be on the front line.
Bad and bougie?
Like that.
It's the one, eh? Oh, okay.
Lwaki mukirizanga sinakiriza?
Okay,
I was
check
just
Mulala,
giving
check
an
our
example,
Mulala.
and
Yeah.
it's not only one, and I have a feeling these things have been happening just because kirabika twali tetupaying attention.
Yeah.
But these things have been there before. Newankubadde nga si bangi, but yes, even talented people like and
You have to
I
front
don't know why-
some sort of nyash.
man, sometimes others end up releasing pictures, like
Sex
video,
tapes.
sex tapes. Gomusasira bambi kumbe
It is a well
aina
calculated move.
kyabala awakasente kagenda kujja. By the time you open your eyes, she has a big show.
When are you releasing your nudes?
I can't.
Tuyagala kutegeka show.
Be a kanyi.
Shekulemye.
Awo kiba kiganye.
Wouldn't that be most female artists actually have done that just for popularity?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just for
But-
popularity. And
And it's a trend these days.
yes.
And not all those nudes can
Appetizing
give
to
your
look at.
attention, like,
Imagine
Sometimes
you
you
release
just
your
get
nudes
arrested.
and then the
Hey.
show flops as well.
Sometimes you just get arrested.
sometimes even a
Double loss.
policeman can look at some kind of nude naga on the musibe busibe.
Yeah?
Can't release this.
We need another father local.
Go to it agakusiba.
Yeah, but guys, I need to say this and also like acknowledge that revenge porn is a thing in Uganda. So there are people who don't want to release those images, but those images end up on the internet
The exes.
because the exes are trying to revenge.
Wow,
on them.
that's what they say.
No,
These
there's
are
some court cases.
calculated moves.
There's some court cases where somebody actually went to prison for doing that to someone.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Revenge porn
It is,
is
but,
there in Uganda.
But not
Yeah,
in
but
celebrities. Like
celebrities,
it's not
it's a
common in
move.
celebrities.
Yeah.
It's always those teenagers or maybe TikTokers.
Yes.
They want to musule,
Mm.
you know, and sometimes it's not even exes. Someone can even just lose a phone. And,
Yeah.
it happens.
Lose the
Have
phone
you guys
and the
ever sent
password.
a
No,
dick
it
pic
can be hacked.
a dick pic to anyone? We're in the era where that's how people kukwana nowadays. Like these
why
kids
moves.
don't have game. I've never done that.
That's why he's even.
And I don't think I'll ever do that.
I've never done that. I will never do it.
But I've ever received.
A
Yeah.
dick pic?
No.
Oh shit.
No, of course. The opposite.
The opposite.
Forgive me. I'm still having comedy vibes.
Omwana agamba olabye by'osubwa.
When it's a female trying to slide in your DMs.
Tulwanye entalo mu simu, right?
Yeah.
And that's how they actually
And
do.
I don't think I have a problem with that. Just only that now I'm settled.
Yeah.
But if I was still
Active.
and single those days,
Yes.
I wouldn't have any problem with that.
You'd have just got your Molondo and
Hey,
reloaded.
just okay.
Rock boom.
And I actually, yesterday, this whole week, last week,
Yes.
that whole week,
Yeah.
I was on Twitter. And then I realized that even the so-called, prostitution is at a different level right now. Like people are open. On TikTok, someone just sits and starts selling the body parts. Naga, just no kulaga wano mtwaro. Like
Meat sellers.
hey,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Only
fans.
I haven't seen that.
Even
No,
the
like-
face
I don't know what
clear.
I don't know what your algorithms are showing you guys. My
No,
algorithm only
even on
has
that, yo.
birds, cats
Yo,
playing, dogs.
There's even a website
I doubt.
for buying.
But
I'm telling
even
you.
the face is visible. So I was on
Big
X.
business. My algorithm shows me business.
Yo, there's a website.
Business entrepreneurs.
There's a website
You
for
guys, first clean your timelines. Eh?
Yo, G, there's a
I
whole
don't even know where these things come
there's
from.
a whole website for buying hose.
Yeah.
Oh, please let our viewers know what the website is.
Kampala.
Oh,
Kampala.
oh my God!
It's
I
called
was.
Kampala.
Oh
No,
my
let
God!
them know.
God.
These
I was
things are
playing
there.
with
There.
You
These things are
shouldn't
there.
do
They know
that.
them.
And
What do
my
they don't know?
guy, I was talking
But why
about
would you put
X.
that online like that? I was
Do you know-
playing with
Yeah, those
you.
guys have to pay me. It's a
But
gig.
I saw a whole sponsored tweet
Mm.
when someone was talking about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was sponsored.
It's a
It
big
was boosted. Like
Oh,
it comes
like
in your
on
feed.
on
X.
on X.
Because I thought maybe abantu aba on X is a serious platform. And maybe
X-
we like
X from
TikTok.
Facebook.
X only
But now-
has X is only for racism and
But they are now everywhere, and they are.
and
It's crazy.
Sometimes you just
anti-Semitism.
sometimes you just look and ask yourself, man, like if you even showing your face, are your parents alive?
Yeah.
Still alive?
Yeah.
Because
you
some
have
of, like me
relatives?
personally, I love giving birth to girls. I don't know why, but I just love.
Oh, your firstborn is a daughter?
Yeah. Even the second born is a daughter.
Let me tell you something. The universe is very funny. The universe usually gives daughters first to men who slept around a lot
That's,
in their youthful years. The universe is
To
like,
humble them down.
come here,
Yeah.
So
come
it
here,
humbles him.
come here. And
But
you know what the
yo.
universe was? Do you know what the universe is trying to show you? It's saying, you've been
goes
with all
around
these
comes
girls. Now it's going to be your duty to protect your daughter
but let
24/7.
me tell you something weird.
I know they make them very beautiful. Eh?
Do you know my firstborn, Namfunam S1,
No
before
way.
even exploring.
Wow.
Before exploring, what are you doing?
So that means no. Let me tell you something. So that means in your lineage, someone represented you too.
This guy is
Maybe.
Like, this generation has to even
Hey.
carry forward the
My
debt.
firstborn is 18.
he's paying somebody's.
Yeah, you're
So-
paying the generational curse
Yes.
or the sin.
Even second
But
born.
in this case, it's a generational blessing.
Yeah, it is. May I love girls, but my point was,
Yes.
sometimes I just sit down and be like, okay, I love girls, but these things, vanang is
Too much.
Yes.
That pushes me to really work hard and at least take care of my girls and
Yeah.
But
How-
you just
how
had
many-
the guy
How
told
many do you
you.
have now?
two.
2, eh?
Yes.
So but if you got one in S1, how old is she now?
18.
Wow.
No way.
She's 18.
You have an 18-year-old.
Wow. Kongs, man.
I have a few young cousins. Where is she planning to go to university?
Moves. She wants moves.
Okay, these guys also are interested in business. I'll switch my younger cousins.
They should meet at the same university.
Yes. But congratulations, man.
Yeah.
I know it's not easy raising a child.
Imagine getting your firstborn at 14.
Bruh, what were you doing?
You got just like any other person. Hey.
Just like Lil Wayne.
Yeah, but the
Lil Wayne also firstborn at 14?
Yeah. But the funny thing about my case is the mother was older than me.
Yes.
Mother was
Basically,
in
for you
Form 4.
You didn't even enjoy
Then
it.
the father was in S1.
Mother took advantage.
That's
No.
crazy. Imagine
So there's no way you could take me to jail. No government, yeah?
Yes.
Even the parents came. They came to the school. They were looking at the chivubuka who did misango.
Kulukulu.
One kid, yo. Crazy.
This is the man, the guy. I'm out of this. Tata Joan, you handle those things. I'm out of here.
Wow.
This is the guy.
Yes.
Bali balooza batwala ekirenzi mu
Bagenda
komera
siba
bakisibe. Kumbe
Did you come out?
balina okusiba omuwala.
Kumbe you came out with a brick game, eh? Or my Tetris.
But actually, this is the first time I'm saying this, like I'm telling this story.
Yes.
Baboon Forest
It's a forest, storytellers, and we are
Storytellers
both
Academy.
storytellers. We are in the Storytellers
Like, nobody
Academy.
knew about
Tuli
this.
Muchibira. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but yeah, it's a good experience. By the time you grow up, the only thing is that I wasn't in her life for some years.
Yes.
Definitely, you are still studying.
Yeah, I was still studying. I didn't even know how the mother gave birth.
Yeah.
I didn't know the costs, the hospital bills, and all that.
Yes.
You are still a child, basically.
Yeah. So, but I'm proud to be. But sometimes she looks at me and asks herself, "Are you really my father?"
Because you're young.
Like a nyoma mukwe.
You have certain ways.
Yeah, I went to her school and the way the kids were looking at me, like,
Yeah.
that boy.
Yes. Like your brother, like elder bro.
Yo. Okay. Wow, we are proud of you.
Yes.
But that abajja bakadde.
Yes.
Nyingirawo ne
Yes.
KFC baga jeans bichi.
Yes.
Tata ate yona wanjawulo.
Yes.
But that's another good thing of producing early as well.
Yeah, that's a very big advantage. Now you're going to be having a bad day, actually. Or someone to even run your empire like really so soon. Yeah.
But you know, I can become a grandfather right now because
Oh, that's crazy.
It's possible.
Don't put it in the universe. The universe listens to these things.
But it is possible.
Yeah. The universe might be like,
Ofuka jaja.
You never know. But going back to the topic, man, each time I look at such videos, I always have those question marks in my head. And it's like you said, video what are popping,
Yeah.
I think it's not the other way round, like you explained the algorithm.
Yes.
I think on my side, Bujane Bugamba, you're a father and you have girls.
Mm-hmm.
So look at this.
Yes.
I have a feeling sometimes.
So you
have
become
to
more
know.
concerned as a parent.
Yes.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh, damn.
You actually have to know what's happening in that world.
Not in the sense of
In order to protect your child, you
Yes.
have to know.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
because man, the internet works differently in this generation.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yes, it
you
does.
just talk about something.
Yeah.
And out of the blue, they're bringing padlocks on your timeline.
Yeah. Most definitely. Mm-hmm.
The phones are listening in.
Yeah.
What do you think?
The phones are listening. Every time they tell you that option of, do you want cookies or no cookies? And then you tap yes, all of them actually. Do you agree to these terms? Yeah, yes. I want to vote.
It keeps saving.
Those are the things.
your
Now
history.
the phone is listening properly. Which one?
I have a weird feeling that when they say, do you want these cookies and so,
Yes.
then they say accept and then reject all.
Yes.
I have a feeling that those two options are the
As interchanged. And maybe they interchanged.
It will still do.
accept.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I was going to go on another tangent, but Do you know that before the US releases technology, any technology that's invented in the US or that has that's patented in the US, by the time they release it to the public, right, the military has already found a way of using it. They first give it to the military. And then the military studies it, explores everything, sees how it can weaponize it, or if it cannot be used as a weapon, then it gives it to people after. So remember when Obama was being sworn in?
Yeah.
There were 5 pieces of technology by then. By then, imagine. Obama was sworn in when I did Koi Koi. The day I shot the Koi Koi video, Obama was swearing in. So imagine that back then, the technology was already listening to people, studying their behavior. They could switch on your camera, front-facing camera.
Yes.
You get me?
Yeah.
Without you knowing. Back then. So now imagine where they are now.
Yes.
You get me? Where they listen to a conversation and then recommend things to you on Facebook. They have already logged in on the back end.
Yes.
They know who you're DMing. They know what websites you visit. They know all the things that you like. Yeah.
Yeah.
The algorithm. The internet is interneting. You get me? You get me? That's where we are.
The agenda must agenda.
Yes.
It's just like that. There was talking to someone from one of the embassies.
Yes.
And she was telling me of how they use social media these days.
Yeah.
And I was asking her, like, do you go on someone's timeline and you keep scrolling, or
That's how they screen candidates.
then she told me, Sha, we have a different way of doing it. As long as we get your name
Yes.
and your face and everything.
Yeah.
That's why they have even started creating those parts where you can put your social media handle.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
That section.
If you have a phone which you can open with Face ID,
yes.
any of that technology, you're not the only one who can activate your phone, by the way.
Yeah.
As long as you have
Because I
face.
was wondering how
Face ID is how your face keeps track of your emotions. You're wearing shades, you're not wearing shades.
They are studying.
That
you
means I can begin following you from Nsambia to Muyenga to town
yeah.
just by studying. I just tell the computer, track this face, and the box will just show.
Yes.
Anywhere there is a camera, they will know exactly where you are.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Let me give you guys a case story. One time I went to the UK. This is like way back, like 2011, right? And they caught a thief, right? I don't know if he was a thief, but usually in Uganda you think it's a thief, right? Because he was in handcuffs.
He's already guilty.
Then after, they talk to him, what they are like, we're booking you, right? So we are standing like right there. It was like East London, so it's a little bit ghetto-ish. So we're standing right there, they're booking a guy. So they finish everything, yeah, and handcuff the guy. Then the police begin talking and having a discussion over there. And I was like, I turned to these guys and I was like, why isn't this dude running already? These guys are facing those ends, what. The other guy just told me, this is the most monitored city in the whole world. Like if you run, it's you tiring yourself. Unless you're going to go into a tunnel where there are rats and whatever, and then go from under there. This city has cameras everywhere. The police will just log in and just begin following all your movements where you've gone. And then when you're tired, they'll come and pick you from there. So back then, imagine now. But coming back to the big topic is, where are we headed to, right? If this planet, or if AI is to choose who is destroying the planet the most, right? It will have already studied our behavior.
Yeah.
And it will begin eliminating the weakest link. Guess who the weakest link is right now? Humans are the weakest link. Do you know that there is, and this is me being an environmentalist now, that's my environmental management, there are 2 islands floating in the ocean, right? And these 2 islands, there are no humans living on these 2 islands. You know why? These 2 islands are just a sea of trash. Just imagine that. Just trash. But this trash is being brought together by current that it has formed 2 islands.
Wow.
That's the amount of plastic that goes into the water. And these plastics break down into nanoplastics, where you can't even see it with your eye.
And the fish
and
are
then
eating
all
that.
our fish are eating all of that stuff. I was looking at a statistic that said that we think trees generate oxygen, all the oxygen we use, but that's the other way around. The oceans actually generate more oxygen than the percentage is like a 70-30.
70-30.
70-30. So we get most of our oxygen from this very big. There's more water than there is land, basically, and this is what feeds our ecosystem. But we are destroying it at a very, very fast speed. Fastest speed, and there's no way of stopping because we love consuming.
Yeah.
The algorithm. We as human nature, the greed is killing us.
Yes.
We love to buy things. We are insecure. We have to prove to others that we are rich by building the biggest houses and depleting things of energy. We have to eat meat every day. So basically, everything boils down to us being the weakest link. So if AI ever woke up one morning after learning all our behavior and logging into all our shit and it said, how do I eliminate the weakest link?
Yes.
We would be the ones.
The first casualties.
And that's the biggest threat, by the way, of AI and modern technology to our existence. It's an existential threat, and that's where we are. In hip-hop, we have our own way of determining who are the weakest among us.
True.
And which is how we arrive to this conversation right here.
True.
End of the week, Panang. Eno ye week, mutugenda okutandikira campaign yaffe nga Baboon Forest, sponsoring or being part of the media partners of End of the Week as an organization. Now, I could explain this organization or this platform of hip-hop, which is global, but I'll not do a better job than the gentleman sitting on my right. I'm going to pass it over the microphone to him. Atunyonyola kanana katano, cheshigendo happening, what has been happening, give us the historical context.
Yeah.
Tell us about, let's see that t-shirt. End of the week.
End of the week, yeah.
Please tell us about this. How did it come into Uganda? Historical concept. Abatachimanyi bagamba end of the week.
That was a weekend.
That was a weekend. But before we get into it, I need to ask all of you here. What day does the week end?
What day does the week
Collins,
end?
what day does the week end?
I think it ends on Saturday.
What day does the week end?
Friday, according to the Swahili people.
Oh,
Then
this is
Saturday
technicality.
Then Saturday is the first day of the day.
According to the Swahili people,
Yes.
Friday is the last day.
Yes.
Is it
Then
because they're following a Muslim calendar?
I don't know. Then Sunday is the second day. That's why it's called Jumapili.
Oh, Jumapili.
Yes.
Interesting.
Then Monday is the third, Jumatatu.
Yes.
Tuesday, Jumanne. You say you get.
Wow, that's amazing. That we learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Sebo, when does the week end?
On Saturday. Me, I thought Sundays is always the first day.
Yeah, Sunday is always the first day. That was a trick question. But now, through that, we have learned also that not in every culture that it starts on the very first. The very first. But in Uganda, we have Olukusoka. There's no Olwokubiri. Balaza. We have Balaza. There's no Olwokusoka. Sunday is what in Uganda? Sabit. So we have Sabiti,
Then
which
Monday.
being the first day, Balaza.
Monday, Balaza.
Saturday is what?
Saturday.
You're right. The Baganda
Saturday
begin on
Lwanga.
Monday. The Baganda Monday is the first one.
Saturday.
Then Tuesday is what?
Not only Baganda, but
Africans.
in Uganda.
In Uganda.
Monday is the first day.
Is the
Monday.
It's when they go to work.
It's when they go to work, Monday.
Weekend is when they're chilling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sabiti.
If you're counting days
But
of the week,
Sabiti means week.
Yeah, week.
It's like, okay, this is where we end it. This is where we count it, right?
and I thought it was Sabbath.
It's the marker for when they count the...
Sabbath.
God rested on Sato.
Yeah. The last day.
naye ebyo ebintu bituufu bannaye tetugenda yeeyo ate mu ggoola.
Tuliko end of the week. Ate kati
Rested.
Yes. Please tell us about end of the week, because if we go into God, I'll start another conversation where I try to convince you that Jesus is hip-hop. Jesus is hip-hop.
You see?
Can I give you a few arguments?
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus, listen. End of the week. Who was the weakest link in Jesus' crew? Judas, right? But Jesus moved around with Jesus. Yaine gari. just in a gaali y'abantu 10
Yeah.
12 yawe tabeera rapa ina gang gy'atambula naye. He moved around with a gang. That's some hip hop shit. Okay, he moved with a band of brothers. Second thing, Jesus taught love, brotherhood, community, communing together. Can't think of anything more hip hop.
And he wasn't a
than
poor
that.
guy.
And he was speaking in
He wasn't.
parables.
He was rich in his
He
heart.
wasn't
No.
direct.
Yeah.
Jesus was even rolling with the tax collectors, URA officials. You
No. But you are as if you are in Jerusalem.
That's now that time. You get
One thing I
the
would,
tax collect.
one thing I would
He was
think,
rolling with.
Yeah. Who was the
high
guy who
rollers.
jumped onto Zakayo Muwoza?
Hey,
Jesus was
Zakayo.
chilling with Zakayo
Hey.
throwing signs.
You get.
Go
You know,
to Jakukuba Chiboko.
how rich do you have to be
Yeah.
to tell guys, if you think I've ever stolen from you, I'll pay you 10 times over?
yeah.
Who said that?
Zakayo.
Zakayo was loaded.
That's what I'm saying. Jesus was rolling
But
with
he
loaded
was
guys.
short. So Zakayo wasn't chilling with Jesus. The story is, Zakayo was the rich guy,
Yeah.
who heard about a dude coming through. But Zakayo had always cheated people. I'm not talking about the Zakayo of Bebe Cool and King Saha. The Zakayo of the Bible. Mistake. Not the Zakayo who was in the Ugandan zoo. We're talking about the real Zacchaeus. Zakayo. Zakayo muwoza yalinya ku muti. Okitegeera? Because he was so short. He was like Madrat. Yalinya ku muti so that he could see. Because the crowd was so big. Yalinya ku muti alabe the Savior coming in. So Jesus was moving and then he's like, yo, aren't you that dude? He saw him on a tree. He's like, come down and say what's up. So Jesus did not really know him. He only invited him only to show that there is some salvation even for you, the sinners and the
But
greedy.
he hosted the guy at his home dinner. Like,
Yeah. But you can be hosted in a home like that, but then you bring purity.
Who hosted who?
Zakayo hosted Jesus. Please come to my house.
Nevalia.
Nevalia. There's nothing wrong with that.
Some
Because
big man moves.
yes. To me, to me, Jesus was making moves.
That's what should you
Stop the blasphemy.
like G.
Yes.
Should you go and sit,
End of the week.
Yes.
for example,
Yes.
Alex State House
Yes.
dinner with the president?
Yeah.
What are we going to say?
But Jesus
You're
then,
rolling with high-
but Jesus then
You
said,
get what I mean?
But in this case,
but Jesus also had a message for rappers in Uganda. When it came to taxation,
Yeah.
what did Jesus say when it came to taxation?
Think about the giving Caesar belongs to Caesar.
Ugandan rappers, have you heard? They'll catch it. She said, give Caesar what belongs to what?
Caesar.
To Caesar. Which take it.
yeah,
but,
but one
um,
thing about Jesus also,
Yeah.
according to what I studied,
Yes.
because we never bawandika biwandiki,
Yes.
is the fact that he was speaking in parables. Yeah,
He was a storyteller.
he was a storyteller
Yeah.
telling a story. By the time he
They're
ends
going
the
down
story,
Yes.
ngogo inacho is
Goinacho is
so yatelinganga
yes.
nyo story nazirekawo.
parables and
Nemwebuuza.
the Bible. Jesus was hip hop because the Bible is written in verses.
Yes.
Why didn't they write it in paragraphs?
Yeah.
That's a storyteller right there. That's very hip hop.
yeah.
Storytelling, using metaphors, going to meditate in a desert. That's
preaching
some very hip hop.
agenda kudda oba
He's coming back. He's coming back.
ndikomyewo nga
And Jesus' gang sign was
Peace.
netumukubira kulaga
yalinnya ku jjinja n'akola bw'ati.
In my high school.
And then he's like, peace, I'm out. And he said that he would come back. You
So
get?
guys they interpreted that. They said, "Aja kuja kumi biri."
In my high school.
Do you know what's funny about all of that? Do you know what's funny about all that? Jesus might have never done this. This was just the interpretation of the guy who painted the picture.
Yeah.
Which say again. So people saw that interpretation.
peace yo.
He said, he's like, I'm out, peace.
Yeah.
But some more evidence of Jesus being hip-hop,
Hip-hop.
right? Jesus pulled up to, when Jesus came to Jerusalem, yeah? He pulled up to the Jerusalem club on a donkey.
On a donkey.
The latest donkey.
And everybody put up, they put their clothes down.
They put clothes down, like Nsansas were everywhere. The palm, there was like a
With the
little
latest
joy.
Let him not make the
People talk about
wheels
horsepower.
dirty.
People talk about horsepower.
Horsepower.
But have you heard of donkey power?
But the latest donkey.
Oh, yeah, let's go
Ladies
back
and
to the
gentlemen,
week.
we'll continue presenting
Akajikola.
the latest, the breed of the donkey was. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
Yeah,
What a
did you
donkey.
guys see Jesus' donkey?
Yeah. No, I'm about to imagine to Jesus.
Hey.
Ngabegomba donkey.
Ngabegomba donkey, like,
Wow.
who is
Such a
riding
donkey.
that donkey right there?
Yeah.
Let's go back to the end of the week.
Yes, and Jesus had like his own brand of like tangiras.
Made by
The Air
Zenson.
Jesus.
Made by Zenson.
I'm out.
Ate Zenson yalita najja
I'm out.
waliwo abagezi abalala awo kati.
Waliwo abagezi abalala.
That Zenson jjukira zirina buno.
Eh.
Zali flat.
So Jesus made off-white.
And he was a community guy, man.
He was a
By the
but
time you feed more than
in all
500
seriousness,
people.
thank you. That community element,
he had that
being hip hop
community.
is that. Please elaborate. Please elaborate.
He had that community
Yes.
element of giving.
Yes.
Yeah, because by the time you look at people, because he wasn't proving anything, but he just wanted to feed. Yeah.
Yes.
And he didn't feed the rich. He fed the poor.
The poor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing back home. Like when you talk about hip hop,
Yes.
you talk about giving.
Yes.
And
Yes.
deep in the communities
Yes.
and all that.
Yes.
So when you try to weigh, olabira awenzikiriziganya nawe nti
He was really community oriented,
Yeah.
and Jesus was also very forgiving. Think about how many beefs were squashed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even forgave those guys who killed
Even
him.
the guys who killed him, he forgave him.
Hey.
Nothing is more hip hop than that. But so they know not what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
And you
forgive
for you
them.
they are saying Zakayo was rich, Jesus was making moves.
He was very good.
Kumbe, the
High
guy's
roller.
father is the richest of all.
You
Yeah,
he was
you
a high
get-
roller.
By the way, his father.
At that time, was even a carpenter. To have a table those years, you're a rich guy.
Jesus had a table,
No, Jesus was a carpenter.
but he had a
So,
table.
he was a carpenter. That means he was making
So he
tables
bought a
and
table
chairs.
in Club
He was
Jerusalem.
making tables and chairs for the rich. The poor guy you can't afford a chair at that time, man.
Yeah.
You
Chairs
talk-
were
Jesus
expensive.
was a rich guy.
You talk about that.
Chairs.
He's
Sofas.
showing you, he's teaching you how
No,
to
let's
hustle.
say he was innovative.
Yes.
Yes. And by the way, he also traveled.
Yes,
he also traveled
man,
to
from Egypt, from where?
He traveled to Egypt, right?
Yeah.
Or whether was that fleeing? Was he fleeing or was he just traveling?
How did he travel?
I
That
don't
makes
know.
him hip hop because man,
Hip hop travels.
hip hop travels.
Hip hop travels.
Chitege.
For the kids who don't know, the most traveled artists in Uganda are hip hop artists.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
But you see, you guys,
Yeah.
when this guy was born, guys brought gifts, gold.
Bars. They
born
bought bars
rich.
of gold.
Yes, he was a born rich.
What's more hip hop than that? Being born and they give you a bar of
And
gold.
look at where he was born from.
Yeah.
In a ghetto,
In a ghetto.
in a crowd.
Same thing with hip hop artists.
Hip hop artists, most of them
the
in the
gutter.
Born
ghetto.
in the ghetto,
Yes.
fighting your way out of the ghetto.
Fighting your way out of
Yes.
the ghetto.
And coming back to improve.
And then when
Improve
what could be more hip hop than that? You come back and then improve the ghetto.
I want to change my ghetto.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what? Gwe.
You come back,
Yes, Omumanyi.
pull up in a donkey, change stuff around, teach people a new way of
Yeah.
living, community all around. It's like, no, guys.
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Stop selling merchandise
Yeah.
inside the church.
Yes.
Jesus cut a wire at one point and
Yeah.
If he
he
comes
had to,
now
he
here,
had to show them. They brought the old Jesus Adam.
yeah,
True.
in hip hop, so he had to come and clean.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, why are you selling all this stuff, merchandise inside the church? Let's cleanse the church. That's why I no longer come to the synagogue. Jesus decided to go to the desert,
True.
bring 5,000 people, give them bread. Bread might even be a metaphor still used up to now.
Yeah.
He broke bread. You get me? Gave them fish. Okay, in normal
And
terms,
told-
he gave them Chicomando and Rolex on the
And
house.
taught them how to share.
Told them how
Like
to share.
If
yes.
you don't have, share with the neighbor, share with
Yes,
the
yes,
friend,
yes,
share
yes.
with the relative.
Yeah.
ebintu byennyini bye tukola.
So
Nothing
if we
beats
start
that.
the Church of Hip Hop, I need you as one of the
Yeah.
people. Take a verse.
Or the
Teach people
translator.
how to live. Because hip hop is about, besides all of this bling, besides all of the light, camera lights action that comes along with this stuff, at the very core of what hip hop is, the soul of hip hop is.
Yeah. And I'm already practicing what Jesus was doing.
What was he doing?
Like coming back to the
Giving
the
free
community.
to the
haircuts.
community and
Giving
give
haircuts.
back.
Yes.
Yeah, not only haircuts but haircut training. Like
Haircut
Yes,
training, yes.
giving people skills, skilling
yes,
people.
giving you the fish, not giving you the fish, but giving you the
Teaching
skill.
them how to fish.
yes, how to fish. That guys.
So you're a
Bruh.
fisherman.
And by the way, what shows that hip hop is the only way out for Uganda, yeah, for Uganda to like ever survive. The guy came back, he did his mission. They opposed him. All of them opposed him. Actually, most people opposed him.
Yes.
The ones in authority and whatever.
Yeah.
But after he did his mission and the idea was planted, up to now, 2025 years later, we are still telling people Jesus, the way he lived in his hip hop community, loving, forgiving, is the best way for you to live and live a more fulfilled life.
Yeah,
Yes.
true.
What could be more hip hop than that? It's a gospel of greatness, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you become great. Community service, forgiveness. You get me?
Skilling the community, sharing.
Sharing. That's what true hip hop is, and that's what we are here to discuss, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you stop being a weak man with insecurities.
Yes.
So that your insecurities run you. You don't know how to squash beef. You don't know how to share. You don't know how to support.
You don't know how to mentor. Yeah.
You don't know. You all of your skills are for you. Every
you.
skill you get is for you. Instead
Yeah.
of being like
You
Jesus,
just take it.
instead of getting 12 people and being like, guys, this is how we can, this is how we can fish.
Yes.
You get me? This is how we can go out there in the world and fish, starting from zero, from the get-go.
And after fishing, you
Yes.
have to share.
You have to share what you fished.
True.
What could be more hip hop than that? All of this weakness that's affecting us as Africans and as Ugandans
And we need to end it.
can be ended with the gospel
End of the week.
of greatness, the gospel of hip hop, the gospel of being an infinite being. That's what true hip hop is.
Yes.
Yes, that's what we aspire to, the maximum level of it. And Jesus is the quintessential example.
True.
In my high school,
Yes.
teacher was teaching
Mm.
and he was telling us the history of plants. I think it was biology.
Yes.
And we were all quiet and attentive.
Mm.
I will call him a fool
Mm.
because he made us get caned.
Yes. Because plants did not
He
have
said, one
tools.
guy in the classroom was like, but sir, we were all quiet
Yes.
and asked him, but sir, were you there?
Which is a genuine question, right?
It was
It's a very genuine question.
so
the
everything
teacher-
you guys were talking about.
Yes,
so
yes.
I remember.
So we're here having a conversation of philosophy of how
Of how Jesus was feeding
theology
people.
and the culture can are intertwined. For you, you're like, are you there? Were you there?
Did you see him?
Okay, there's one way of answering you that, my friend Collins.
If it's a yes or no question.
There is something called religious science that deduces. I'm a scientist. That deduces that you can. It's called religious science for a reason, right? And in science, we have things that are theories. There's a scientific fact, then there's scientific theories, right? You can deduce whether something happened or it didn't happen by using mathematics. You can predict or you can reverse engineer to the very, very first whatever, to the smallest point of it, to show a formula of how that's possible. Now, in science, different from other things, is that thing that formula you've come up with or something that you have proved needs to be able to be replicated by other people. Which take it. To prove that what you're saying is a fact, it needs to be replicated by what? Other people. Somebody's like, gravity exists. You're like, I can't see it. I can't even feel it. How does it exist? You're like, throw it up. If it remains up, then there's no gravity. If it comes down, and we can measure the force with which it falls, if it relates to its mass, and the speed at which I threw it and which it fell, you get me? I can deduce the power of gravity that was impacting upon it when it hit the ground. So, my brother, I'm saying say all
the
of this
average
to
is usually
simply
the same.
say, yeah, exactly. The average is usually simply the same. I say all of this to say, you need not have been there. You get me? To deduce that these are facts. What did the Lord say? What did our Lord Jesus Christ say?
Blessed who believes without
Those
seeing.
believe without seeing.
So you're mixing faith with science.
They are both intertwined.
Blessed
Who
are
told you
those
that
who believe without seeing.
The problem is when people try separating these two worlds, science and religion, and not religion actually, science and spirituality are intertwined.
Yeah.
They are the same. Actually, one explains the other.
Religion is the problem.
Religion is a problem. Spirituality and science are both sciences. Everything describes an energy that creates something. Everything. Science describes an energy which impacts upon mass
And
and
religion
matter.
is a big problem.
Religion,
Religion is a problem.
religion is the politics of spirituality. Wants to bring in politics of so-and-so is the pope. The other side is whatever.
The hierarchy.
The other
The
side is
hierarchy
a
of the
pastor.
church.
Then this one is a choir leader. This one has more power than... That's nonsense. That's where all the bullshit begins. I belong to this church. I can only pray here. All that is the politics
That religion is not true.
of spirituality.
This one is...
Spirituality, true spirituality, is Jesus telling everybody, all of you are welcome.
Yes.
In my father's house, all of you are welcome. Murderer, thief, all of you. Because the force which is upon me, or the love that is within me, is what I want to share. And that love is beside you. It created you, created me. And we all believe that there was a force that created this. Some people say it's the Big Bang, but who impacted upon the Big Bang and that sound and the vibration that we feel until today? That energizes our cells. You don't need to have been there. You don't need to have been there. There is fusion and fission right now in Switzerland, which is being proved by Sun. By Sun is CERN.
Guys,
Happiness.
let's go back to the end of the week.
We don't need to keep
This
this.
Best
conversation
believe
is
are those who hear and believe.
My worry is,
But just like the people who despise knowledge, they shall soon what?
Perish.
Yes.
And that's why they say...
And they will be the weak ones. Coming back to end of the week 7. We digressed a lot.
just one more. One more.
Teachers have
One
suffered
more.
with students.
One more submission.
Yes, sir.
My point was,
Yeah.
since we know that there's that one creator,
Yes.
we should not disturb him a lot.
Hey.
Thank you for today. Thank you for yesterday.
Yes.
No.
No, you need to be thankful.
Like, I have a feeling he created the system. Esobola okutambula yokka in a way that
Self-sustaining.
even when you are dead, like for example, there's an accident, he's not the main cause of that accident. Yeah?
So he just created a system.
He created the system. Take care of yourselves. Yeah. Hey, mwerabirire. But I hate Tolugwamu, but I hate this saying that Katonda muise.
Hey, he loved him more.
Katonda asose kumuocha nga tebannamuocha Rajiv. You see that kind of thing.
Tolugwamu, but too soon.
Katonda tasobola gamba nengwe fa accident. Gwe bakufumita ekiso.
Your days today.
So for him, he just created the system.
He created n'agamba n'ekirala ayinza n'okuba anyiiga nga mumusumbuwa nnyo buli kaseera. Gwe buli kaseera omuyita. If you're
talking like that, it means you don't listen to his words.
Shout out to God.
The problem is, my brother said, Nelly said, the problem is that you're trying to use your human abilities to explain God. God can hear everybody. God can hear everybody at the same time,
and God is
still
everywhere.
be able to handle.
Do you believe that God is everywhere?
Yes, I am. I believe the guy is
So
omnipotent.
even if you pray while driving,
But honestly, if he's everywhere,
so
why
I
do
don't
you
need
have
to go
call
to
him?
church.
I believe
find
that.
God.
I believe that you don't need to go to church.
Yeah. Even here we can.
But as a hip hopper, I still challenge you because we cannot say you believe in talking to God and not going to church, because if hip hop is
To commune.
you need to commune. Church is only community.
It's not a building.
It's not a building. Right now, this could be church.
Yeah.
We're discussing matters of the soul,
Exactly.
matters of existential
Even yoga
crisis.
can be a church.
Yes.
not a building.
No, church.
Church is the collection of believers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if we believe in hip hop, this is a church.
But not saying that this building.
If you believe in God, this is a church.
Those things I was saying, we are now building
Church.
55 million.
Yeah,
$55 million.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold hands. Let's hold hands. Let's hold hands. Let's hold hands. Let's hold hands. Hold the other man's hand.
$55 million church.
Hold the other man's hand. As we hold hands today, we pray for everybody who's watching this podcast to get everything that they deserve and to realize their life's purpose on this earth, to live in joy and fulfillment. In the universe's name, in God's name, the infinite energy that created all of us and runs through us, that has been here from the beginning and will be here in the end. We pray. Amen.
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 So
Now there's a mobile money number there which is passing.
Guys, I forgot the offering. Guys.
I think we need to go to the end of the
Let's go to end of the week.
They should put the number there.
Please take over. The number will be running on the screen, but that number,
Yeah. Let's go back here.
we want to take the money that you would have sent to us, to our church. Our church works differently. The money that you would have sent to us, go out in your neighborhood.
And help
Yes.
somebody.
and go out in that neighborhood, give it to a neighbor, help out somebody in your community that needs
Yes.
help.
Yes.
Don't send the money to us. Our church operates differently.
Yes.
We believe that we have the faith in you to do the
Anyone
right
in
thing.
need.
Anyone in need.
It could be your brother.
Could be your brother.
Identify someone.
Identify someone who... actually, we should begin a tradition of people going to hospitals and visiting the sick. Jesus did that, right?
Yeah.
Visit the sick, take care of old people. Old people in our communities have no services to help them out.
Yeah.
Omukazi mukadde temumanyi oba yalidde oba teyalidde mugamba bugambe akakadde kaawo tokachekingako.
There's some money that the government gives them, but I doubt if people even receive it.
Of course. Even did you receive the COVID bins and
Nah.
yeah, you see? So I think community needs to serve community. There's
Well,
nothing more
when
hip-hop
it been
than respecting your OGs. Let's do this. End of the week.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
End of the week as in week, WEAK.
Yes.
Not the days, yeah?
Yes. Natural
this is-
selection.
yes,
End
this
of the
is-
week.
This is the more
Survival
like
of the
weakness,
fittest.
More like weakness, energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the right spelling, yeah?
Yes,
Not
yes,
the week of the Naku days. Yeah, it has so many descriptions depending on the chapter. By chapter, I mean countries because it's global.
Yes.
But I would say it's a movement towards hip-hop culture improvement with the unique competition known as End of the Week MC Challenge.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
End of the Week MC Challenge is an Olympiad kind of competition.
Yes.
Where different chapters every year or every after 2 years come together to crown the world champion.
Yes.
So by chapters, I mean countries, yeah? So it has chapters all over the world, in so many continents. But in Africa, it's only in Uganda, South Africa, Nigeria, the latest, which is Tanzania, another latest chapter called Gambia, and Cameroon.
Wow.
Yeah, but we are still adding on more and more chapters. Yeah, so but it's all over Europe. They have more than 10 chapters over there. Belgium, Switzerland, France, Czech Republic. Netherlands. There are many. Yeah, in North Africa, it's only in USA and Canada. South America, we have Brazil, and then in Asia we have China. Many chapters. So the last World Finals, like I said, that every year we come up with a competition known as End of the Week World Finals. This is where all these chapters come up with the finalist, the national champion, that represents this event known as the World Finals. So the last World Finals we had was in 2023, held in New York, USA. And it has been really hard for African champions to travel and be part of these chapters and be part of these finals because of so many aspects. from visas, from travel documentations, flights, accommodation, sometimes age. You'll find out that a winner wins, but they find it hard to give him a visa, him or her a visa, because of his age. That us this age cannot travel and perform to an audience. Depending on the country which is hosting. So that's why when you get opportunities like this to have it in Africa, you'll find out that so many African chapters can be able to converge and compete. Unlike when it is being hosted outside Africa, which is really hard for them to travel. So this year, most of the champions, actually, the World Finals were supposed to happen last year in 2024, but because of certain aspects, some ups and downs here and there, we didn't manage to stage the World Final event in Kampala. So this year, we decided to do it. Even though some chapters cancelled because they got disappointed last year and they had budgeted for that specific period. Most of them will not make it, especially those outside Africa. But many Africans will be joining us in Kampala, the likes of Tanzania. We have Nigeria traveling. We have South Africa and Uganda, meaning we have 4 African champions. This is going to be the first of its kind, because the last final, I remember, which had 2 champions from Africa, it was actually held in Uganda in 2014, where we had South Africa and Uganda representing on the same stage. But most of these world champions, sometimes Africa does not represent. But this time, it's home, back to the Pearl. It is in Africa. And this is more like a very big opportunity. And on top of those 4 African champions, we'll be joined by USA. They are representing with the champion, and France in Europe. So those are the 6 competitors that will be joining the rest of the Africans for the World Finals. Yes. But the uniqueness of this competition is the fact that it's not like the normal hip-hop competitions or battles where rappers just come one-on-one and start dissing each other. This is unique in a sense that it has more than one round. It has rounds where an MC truly understand that, okay, I've come with my own beat to do round 1, and does whatever he or she wants to deliver, from be it a freestyle, be it a written song, be it a written poem.
There are no preconditions.
Yes, nothing. Then we have round 2, which is the a cappella. Of course, the MC is free to do whatever they want, but with no beat, no any other instrument apart from your voice and your buzz. And it's also unique in a sense that sometimes you'd like to listen to the power of someone's voice.
No lying.
Listening to everything. No lying.
No lying. We need to hear what you're saying.
No help of the beat.
Yeah.
No extra instrument, just you and your voice. And then we have the 3rd round, also known as a grab bag. This is one of my best rounds. It has that uniqueness of freestyle, because you keep getting different items from a bag, and you rap about them. For example, you can pick soap and then rap about that soap. What is soap? What are you holding in your hands?
Somebody said they wanted to see their babies in liquid form.
You get into the bag, get a cup, and rap about that cup. Actually, this baboon forest cup should be in the grab bag. In one of the grab bags. So it's unique in that sense. And then we have round 4, which is also unique, known as MC versus DJ, or you can call it beat juggling. This is where DJ keeps confusing you with different kind of beats. It can start with the trap beat, but as you're rapping,
we have to check out your technique
with the reggae beat in between.
Check out your technique.
And then switches to boom bap. By the time you're rapping, there's a reggaeton beat taking you.
Yeah.
So that's also unique, and the MC has to be really thinking, like their thinking capacities are always have to be high, because you're not you don't know what to expect next.
Yeah.
They just through, and then you start following,
And-
changing the flow,
Yeah.
the tempo, so many aspects. And then we have the last round, also known as the cipher round. This all MCs in the competition come together with one beat and start throwing 4 bars past the microphone. 4 bars past the mic. 4 bars past the mic, just like that. Yeah. So those are the 5 rounds, and that's end of the week MC challenge as a competition. And we are lucky, that it's coming back to Uganda. It's coming back to Africa, because Uganda is the only country that has ever hosted the World Finals. And surprisingly, it's also the oldest chapter in Africa, because end of the week Uganda as a chapter started in 2009. 2009 I joined as a competitor as well. I didn't win.
So how do people join this time? You already have people.
This time we have the champion, the Ugandan champion that will be representing. But but we've been.
we have a Ugandan champion?
Yeah, we have the Ugandan champion already. He's called DMC Vinikizo. But each chapter, like I said, they have different ways of doing or coming up with their champions. I'll talk on behalf of Uganda, because for us, what we usually do, we go to different regions and do what we call preliminaries. And so we get different champions from different regions. Actually, we right about now we even still have preliminary champions that are pending. We have a champion from Gulu and another champion from Kampala.
What does it mean to have a preliminary champion? That means you divided the country up in regions?
Yeah. Depending on how where you can cover, and how the possibilities of going or traveling to such a region.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's not easy.
Yes.
It's not that easy to go to maybe north.
Yes.
Like the last time we went to Gulu, actually, that was 2013.
Yes.
We had so many complaints from MCs from Lira, from Arua,
That
from
you only went
from
to
Kitgum, that like they said, this is like the 5th time you're coming to Gulu. Like,
Yet Northern Uganda is
do you guys think Northern Uganda is Gulu? Yeah. So we always have.
Which is a very valid point, by the way.
It is a valid point.
Because I've heard that the MCs in Lira are really good.
Lira?
Yes.
Arua, let me tell you, Northern Uganda is
Has
when
the-
it comes to hip hop,
Yes.
I have a feeling it's the biggest. It has the biggest population of hip hop lovers.
Yeah.
Because there's a it must have been 2014, 2015 when we went to Gulu
Yes.
for an end of the week Northern Uganda MC challenge.
Yes.
And I was surprised to see even the parents of competitors attending the event.
Oh, that's really
like
nice.
the moms, the aunts, all supporting.
That's really nice.
Like it was really
Are there any
interesting.
MCs from Northern Uganda that would like to shout out?
Yeah, of course. Judah Rap Knowledge.
Yes.
He's-
And Judas, yes.
Yes, he was one of the champions from Northern Uganda.
Oh, so he
few
came
years
out of
ago.
end of the week.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
Then there's Hoppy Benny. Hoppy Benny is in Kitgum.
Yes.
Yeah. He's one of the teachers of hip hop that side. Then there's Bifal. She's a female rapper.
Bifal.
She's
Shout out to
comes
you,
from
Bifal.
Arua?
Wow.
Lira. She's from Lira.
Lira.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lira. She's man. Bifal is a long story because she's a hip hop scholar. She's a female MC.
Yes.
She's a hip hop teacher. She does so many things, and I like the fact that she balances all the elements, because today you see her in a b-boy class, big girl class. And
Yes.
the other day she's talking about graffiti.
Yes.
I mean,
Beatboxing.
Maybe we
She's-
should invite
she's too
Bifal here.
yeah,
We
there's
should
so many,
invite her on this
there's
platform.
so
yeah.
many MCs we can invite from the north.
Have you heard of 2B Smalls?
Yeah, of course, Toby Smalls. Toby Smalls, those are one of the elders of northern Uganda.
Of northern Uganda.
Because Toby Smalls is not young.
He's
just
like
the way
Lumix.
you see
Lumix. Lumix is
Yeah, I think that's the
younger
generation.
than the generation after Lumix.
After Lumix.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
he's really dope. He's a dope MC.
He's very good. Yeah.
Like he's really good. When you talk about northern Uganda, it's really hard to tell that this is a fake MC.
Yes.
Like it's hard to.
There's Toby Smalls, Stay Put.
Yeah, Stay Put.
Stay Put.
Yeah, Stay Put is actually Stay Put. Stay Put is unique in his own way.
Yes.
He's very, very unique.
Yeah.
I remember bringing Stay Put to one of the ciphers organized by Kampala Sun. They asked me to organize a cipher when they were rebranding.
Yeah.
And I brought Stay Put because when I was talking to them, I told them if we are doing a cipher, don't only think about Kampala.
Kampala artists, people have a problem with doing that. Yes.
Doesn't only stop here.
Mm.
Yeah. And when I talked about Northern Uganda,
is that the one you did with Emmanuel Sejengo?
Yes.
Yes.
And surprisingly, when they saw the names, they were asking, but we don't know these people.
Yes.
I told them hip-hop is not all about knowing someone.
It's all about the
just
expression.
Wait for what they are going to deliver, and then you complain.
Yes.
But when they had Stay Put his verse, everyone was like, this was the right guy to close the cipher.
Yes.
Because there's a line he said that my verse is long, just like my sex round. Everyone at New Vision was like,
should we put this out?
How? They didn't even censor. They were like, leave it.
Just leave it like that. Yes. Shout outs to Emma Sejengo, by the way, for putting that cipher together. That was a very good cipher.
I should upload that cipher on my channel. I don't know what happened to it online.
Yes.
But I'm going to re-upload it on the channel. It has 5 MCs.
Yes.
Actually, 6 MCs. Yeah. It has Hid 16th.
Yes.
One of the end of the week Uganda champions, Tally. He rebranded to Tally. He's the Grammy Award winner right now. Actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it has VKC.
Yes.
It has St. Maximain representing Masaka.
It
has Truth.
Masaka.
Yeah, it has Truth 256. He was representing the West. It has Musoga rapper Pyramid representing the East, rapping in Lusoga, and Stay Put. Yeah, so the cipher only has one lady, and the rest are male. Yeah. That
should also stop. We need ciphers where we have more than one female.
Yeah, but getting back to end of the week, like I was telling them, like each and every single year, we had some setbacks after lockdown. We lost one of the founders of End of the Week.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, it's called Vice Verses.
Yes.
And that's why even most of the songs we are dedicating them to Vice Verses. Even the album we shall be compiling, it will be dedicated to Vice Verses. And actually, after a few months of him passing, we lost another brother called Jackson Tanner, same year. He's the founder of End of the Week China. Yeah. He founded End of the Week China. So man, we had that setback of
rest in peace, man.
It was really tough for us.
Yes.
And we are just recovering. Yeah.
Yes.
Ever since that period, we are recovering. Everyone is recovering in their own way. And that's why we had even taken a while without staging the World Finals.
Yes.
Until 2023 when it was hosted in New York.
Yes.
Yeah, and now it's back to the Pearl of Africa, and
the motherland.
To the motherland.
Yes.
I was telling them that the uniqueness about this one is the fact that we have more African competitors.
Yes.
Yeah, unlike before. Because of the travel.
What countries do you have from Africa at this time?
At this time, we have Uganda.
Yes.
We have the competing.
Yes.
We have Uganda, we have Tanzania, the neighbors, the latest chapter. We have Nigeria and South Africa. But we have more chapters, only that they don't have champions for now. We have Cameroon.
They're just coming through.
Yeah, we have Cameroon. They don't have a champion.
Do you have anyone from Burkina Faso?
No. Actually, in West Africa, we only had Benin, Togo, that French-speaking region. Yeah, Because even Burkina Faso is a French-speaking.
Do you want me to call Ibrahim Touare so he's considered somebody?
Actually, if that guy ever gets involved in that, man.
Yes. Because Ibrahim Traore is also ending his own weakness in African minds. In Africa, yes.
Not only in his country.
Not only in his country, but the whole of Africa.
Yes.
So shout outs to Ibrahim Traore, man.
Yeah. So that's it. We only have four African countries in the MC Challenge competing, and one from USA, Classics, the writer, shout out to Classics, and then Pyro Mike from France. He'll be representing end of the week France.
From France.
Yeah.
Merci.
Yeah, man. So it's like quite an international community. I guess the conversations, the food, the experience of coming here
exactly
is another experience.
And let me tell you the uniqueness about this competition.
Yes.
There's no money for a winner.
Yes.
There's nothing big, but the connections and the networking and that love,
the brotherhood, the sisterhood,
the
the community,
all that, it really makes a lot of sense for end of the week, because we've had so many products, because in 2023 when I was talking to Justin Valentine, I realized that
I thought for a minute you were going to say Justin Bieber.
No.
But Valentine, yes.
She's a female rapper.
Okay, cool.
She came from end of the week.
Yes.
I realized that they still have that heart of oneness. They still have that heart of unity. That especially when it comes to growth. Yeah.
Yes.
They still have that kind of way of wanting to see you to another level.
The universe. When a human being is universal,
yes,
you don't only think about me, but the tools that are available to us and the knowledge to better another man and to also carry on that spirit.
Okay, there's this festival.
Yes,
I think you can fit here. Can I talk to the organization and see how you can benefit from them and they benefit from you? There's such and such a gig. MTV has this. It's organizing this. Can you be
if rappers began networking like that, would be unstoppable.
Exactly.
Not only rappers, the whole hip hop community.
Exactly.
We need such events back, because
even locally here, you'll find out that we have so many products out of end of the week. People who have never even won, but right now they made it.
Yes.
Me, if I see someone's dream coming true, I feel like that's a win for them.
Yes.
Look at Big Trill.
Yes.
Big Trill. He didn't even win, but he was spotted when you were judging.
Most people don't know this, but actually Baboon Forest has history with end of the week. That's why when the organization approached us and said, "You guys want to be a part of this?" We immediately said yes, because that's where I found who I believe is one of Uganda's best MCs ever.
Yes.
Big Trizzy, Kaiza Roland.
Yeah.
It was during a competition at the end of the week platform. Where I was invited as a judge. Yeah. And for me, it wasn't even the guy who won. It was the guy who was in the number 3 position.
Yes.
That's who Big Trill was number 3. Yes. And that's where we got him and then signed him to Baboon Forest.
So that's one of the uniqueness about this competition, that we shall not promise you anything. Man, okay, if you win, you'll have such and such an amount. Okay, we do sometimes, especially when we are bringing back the fire. Like there's a time we organized end of the week $100 MC challenge. But that's to spice up something and wake you up.
We should bring that back.
Yeah, it's always fun.
$100 MC challenge.
Hey, end of the week $100. Like you'll have more than 400 MCs registering.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing.
But when you bring them together and explain the essence of the movement, how they can benefit more, even if they don't win, you'll fully get to know that this is a different kind of competition.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, not everyone can win, and just because you haven't won doesn't mean that you are not good enough.
Does it mean that if I don't win now, if someone does not win, in this competition that they can re-enter the next year?
They can re-enter over and over again.
Until you win.
Until you win.
Until you win.
I like
we
that.
Have,
I
we
like
have so
that.
many MCs who have gone back
Yes.
to the writing board. Nagamba, okay.
They won last time,
Come
but
out.
this time I'm coming back
Yes.
next year.
So
Maybe I should also go and participate in end of the week.
anytime, you're welcome. Yeah.
Mm.
You're welcome. There's a time.
Oh, will that be cheating?
That's what I was going to tell you. There's one of the big rappers. He does English.
Yes.
He's really big.
Yes.
He wanted to participate.
Yes.
And when we told other competitors that, hey, this one is coming, everyone just,
Yeah.
that one is going to destroy us. So it's the same thing here. We can say yes, and then the competitors.
The competitors are like,
So
I see,
these competitors are our bosses at some point.
Yes.
You have to respect them.
Just be
I get
fair
it,
ground.
I see it.
Just
I see
fair,
it.
like,
I see it.
Competing with GNL.
Yes.
How do you start?
And even you, when you look at it, it's not that fair because most of these people are unheard. These are unheard talents.
Yes.
From the communities there, from the different regions out there. Because sometimes even when we don't travel to different regions because of budget,
Yes.
we realize that there are MCs who travel from those regions to come and compete from Kampala.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to take a slot away from somebody.
Yes.
Somebody who really truly deserves
Together. So
to
imagine
be in the
someone
light.
traveling from Soroti.
But for me, I would also want to test my skills.
Test them unless we organize.
Test them in the cipher.
In a sci-fi? Okay, so.
Or
But isn't
this
end of the
song,
week
attack the few MCs?
like a gladiator sport?
how?
And wait for the replies.
Because in the real life, right?
Yeah.
There is no Maximus. You've been in this gladiator ring for so long, whatever. Because I'm using the analogy of being in Spartacus.
Yes.
Just like Gamba, man, for me, I'm a new gladiator. Don't bring the other guy who has
Don't
been
be
here.
the legend.
Don't be.
So it's up to them.
eh,
For us, we welcome.
Okay, it's up to them to decide.
But
Okay.
you'll end up having one competitor at the end of the day.
Yeah, okay. No. Okay, now.
Hip-hop, you
I'm going to just come through and watch and
But if
enjoy
the legend wants to
and enjoy the
compete,
show.
do it. This song, attack a few MCs and wait for the fire. Yes.
But yeah.
Oh, so that's how you do it.
You wait for your fire and test yourself against those ones now.
Yeah, but this
Okay.
in this edition.
Okay.
Vibranium part 2.
The vibrant Thanos. Thanos was the villain, right?
Yeah.
Hey.
But this edition is it's not all about just the competition. We thought that maybe because we had taken long without doing it,
Yes.
even locally,
Yes.
it has been missing that momentum it had way back. So we felt like it can be more like a get-together
Yes.
space for
Yeah.
hip-hop artists and
Like a
hip-hop
celebration.
scholars and hip-hop
Yes.
fans.
Yes.
Those who have been asking that what's happening.
What's
Because-
happening to the hip hop events?
Exactly, because the spotlight is there now. Like everyone, the hip hop has that full focus. One of these years, for the
Yeah.
past 3-5 years,
Mm-hmm.
like everyone is talking about hip hop, but there's nothing.
There's nothing
happening.
bringing everybody
Yes,
together.
everybody
But I've been
together.
seeing, okay, Abrams runs an event.
Yes,
Abrams runs an event.
hip hop for society.
Hip Hop for Society.
Yeah.
Then there is the Uganda Hip Hop Awards.
Yes, but
Yeah.
that's not a hip hop event. That's more like an awarding ceremony.
More like I get it. I was just trying to look for
Then
where are the spots
we had,
where rappers come together.
breakfast jam
Mm.
for dancers, for b-boys and big
Yes,
girls.
yes,
Those
yes,
used
yes.
to gather us.
Yes.
Yeah, but we even had
Then there was Hip Hop
weekly.
Summit.
We even had we had hip hop summit. But there's a time we even had weekly hip hop
B-
nights.
Then there is a Big Globe. Does that
Big
happen? Still happen?
Big Global Indigenous something. That's
Indigenous.
the Hip Hop Summit.
No.
Yeah.
I think they've just had something with someone coming from Washington.
They've just changed the name from Hip Hop Summit to that.
Oh, it just switched. It
Yeah.
just switched.
It's the same thing.
Okay, but they're not all. I mentioned all of these, but it's like, or they can. Maybe I haven't been in the community for so long. I'm just trying to reacclimatize myself with what's going on with the community. It's not like I've been hearing so much about them being pronounced like out of the hip hop circles. Like before you would say Mwana Summit, and even guys who are in R&B are like, aren't you guys going for a summit? You're like, yeah, after the show I'm headed. You get
Your
me?
whole third term pocket money you're
All,
actually
yeah,
saving
third
it to
term
attend
pocket
the
money,
Hip
you're
Hop
saving
Summit.
it to attend something.
And
something
surprisingly,
huge,
most of these platforms are still there.
yes.
Are still there because talking of Zambia, like
Yes.
The Hip Hop for Societies annual.
Yes.
They always have practices like every week.
Yes,
Monday, yeah.
Open door for everybody.
Then Wednesday, like for practice, and then showcases. Yeah.
Somebody,
And,
somebody,
in the
sorry,
community.
somebody on this couch
Yeah.
lied to me and said he was a dancer. Was my used to do the
Baby
freeze
boy.
and that pro. Come like bra.
Baby freeze.
like bra. Just relax. Just relax.
Ooh.
Some guy.
And what's interesting
We used to be a
is that
dancer. What? Baby freeze. What?
Wait.
You see,
Up rock.
when you
Yeah.
get a stone and throw it at a group of dogs,
Yes, the
the
one
one
that
that
hollers.
barks.
Wait. Let me tell you, G.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
you know,
Tonyo Manga bintu, because I'll give you an example.
Yes.
Yeah? Natty Nathan was telling me how he was a b-boy.
And Nathan, I know. You know how I know? Because his brother, Boy, his brother Boy Philip was one of the founders of, not Batalo. Which was the other one that came before Batalo? Like that dance group, which was like everyone in it was bad.
the Abu group.
The Abu
Abdu.
group,
Abdu Chinyanya
group,
Yeah,
even
let's-
what's his name, Hakim.
Yeah.
Hakim.
They even won a competition.
Like those guys, to me, when it comes to Ugandan dance, that group,
talking about
they didn't have a
Tabu
weak link in that group. Tabu Flow.
yeah.
Tabu Flow,
yeah.
everybody in Tabu Flow was bad.
Tabu
So
Flow.
one of the best break dancers or crampers, the ones who cramp, was is it younger or elder brother of Natty Nathan?
Oh,
Yeah, so I think that rubbed off on young bro.
I didn't know that.
yes, but yeah.
Yeah, but I was just giving
Don't challenge Natty Nathan to a dancing competition.
But
It will be
even-
cheating.
I was
even
just giving you
before
examples.
forming that crew,
Yeah.
I was with those guys.
Yeah.
Guys,
Hey,
I-
go Wakanda.
The dog has barked.
No,
do
no.
you know that
no.
Apas was a rapper?
Yo,
Really?
Evidence.
Hey.
We,
Hey.
we have evidence.
Are you still doubting?
now he's going to give them a fun fact.
Take it.
Yeah, I know.
The teacher himself. Yeah, it's coming from the teacher himself. Temulaba abasajja kukola ki?
First aid for the fun fact.
One fun fact that people don't know, Colin was actually one of the original members of BPU in 2006 when he was a kid.
But here's the thing. That might be his claim to fame, and Abrams might have said it by the shout out to Abrams too. But you guys know that even in school there were dropouts. Like yeah. Like you could have been part of the founding members or the first class of the school,
Yeah.
and then you drop out.
Yeah.
You didn't even reach P7.
You know what's interesting is that, okay, you didn't listen to the whole thing, but it will tell you
Yeah.
when the very first Hip Hop for Society.
Yes.
Yeah, the Jessica who came from LA.
Yes.
We were the very first class. Yeah, we were the very first ones to perform. And it goes on to say, if you go on YouTube, there is that footage.
Maybe Collins on the show for end of the week, you should like do
So give us
do
a
a
sample.
set of like 5 minutes of you dancing, because we don't believe you. You need more people. According to Jay-Z.
No, actually, when you there is a new. It's not a new group, but it's been there for some time.
Uh-huh.
and that guy won whatever. What was that?
Tabu
the
Flow won?
challenge. No.
Okay.
The challenge that you set up. Dance
for dancing?
challenge, yes.
Oh, yeah. The guy who won. What's his name? From Wakakade. We gave him $1 million.
So the guy who won,
Yes.
they were always...
I see him now dancing Chidandali songs.
Yeah.
We need to call him back to hip hop.
They were
What's his
always-
name? What's the guy's name?
I'm forgetting the name, but they were always...
He was really creative.
Yeah.
Afro King.
Yeah.
He was really creative.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they were
Afro King,
always-
Komaweka.
They were always
Hip hop
watching us practice.
day.
Mm.
They were always watching us practice.
They were stealing notes from
And
But
they joined
the
the
best
crew.
dancer in Uganda now, he was copying his notes.
No, they joined the crew because one of our dancers
Collins,
was...
you're explaining too much. There's a camera, there are lights.
You'll
Please give us bring the action.
You'll explain tire.
Or tell us that you're going to be performing at the end of the week for a segment of 5 what? End of Musaja Mweyo slot. 5
But
minutes.
anyways,
Yes.
I know there are very many people out there.
Yeah.
Very many people
Yeah.
who will tell you that they knew me
They'll
for
vouch
dancing.
for you.
They knew me because of dancing, nothing else.
In hip hop, we show Chintucha evidence. KKK.
I'm going to release a clip.
Over KKE. So let me ask you before we digress. And
Yeah.
on end of the week, is this typically? Maybe I might have missed this. Is it typically an MC challenge, or are all elements explored here?
No. It's just end of the week MC challenge.
It's an MC, so strictly MCs.
Strictly MCs competing.
So there's battle.
No.
There's
actually,
freestyle.
It's a unique competition.
Yes.
Not like the old format of competition.
Yes.
Where one-on-one comes and then this each other. This one has what we call rounds. We have 5 rounds.
Yes.
We have round 1, which is called the written round, and
Yes.
MC comes with their favorite beat of their
Yes.
choosing.
Yes.
Telikwekwasa mwampadde engoma gye zitategeera, no? You come with your favorite beat.
Yes.
And then round 2 is called a cappella, yeah? Just with nothing, no beat, no any other instrument.
Yes.
Just your voice.
Yes.
Then we have round 3 called beat juggling, yeah? Called grab bag, sorry. Where an MC picks different items from the bag and raps about them.
I love that. There's a guy who killed it.
That's my best.
There's one you had in Kabalagala.
Yeah.
What bar was that? It was like a kaba in Kabalagala.
It was called, I've forgotten it. It's
But you know,
Kansanga.
It's Kansanga, not Kabalagala. Yeah, it's in Kansanga.
Yeah.
There's a kid who came through and killed that. He
Yes.
killed it.
Yes.
He killed it. Yeah.
Yeah, then we have the round 4 called beat juggling. Yeah, this is also unique in its own way.
Yes.
Where the DJ keeps disturbing the amps with different beats, different genres.
Different genres, different flow. So he has to switch the flow.
Boom bap, never kuba reggae. Then out of the blue,
This is going to be very interesting. Yeah.
Out of the blue trap. Like,
Yes.
Like the MC, you have to follow what the DJ is telling you.
Yes.
Yeah. Then the last round, the fifth round is called the cipher round.
Yes.
All MCs in the competition come together and spit 4 bars each. Pass
Yes.
the mic, 4
Yes.
bars, pass the mic. Just like that. And then at the end of the competition, the judges always come up with results. Yeah.
I think that's really amazing.
Yes.
We're really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the uniqueness about the competition, this global competition, is that at the World Finals, we always have different languages. That means we have more than 3 judges. It's not the normal 3 judges that we always have.
Yes.
We have to always, even if there's someone's rapping in Spanish, we have to bring a Spanish judge on top of the 3. You understand?
Yes.
Like, for example, if we see that one of the MCs, for example, traveling from Nigeria, raps in English and Igbo, we have to get an extra judge who understands Igbo. You understand?
And instead of
No lying us.
Exactly.
This guy, I'm always telling this friend of mine, because he's always playing me ciphers, right? And I'm always telling him, just because a rapper raps fast,
Yes.
It doesn't mean that he's killing it.
Exactly.
Now this guy has people rapping Igbo. The moment he sees that he can't understand, he's like, this, I think this one is so bad.
Yes.
I'm
So
telling him, nah. Tell me what he just said. Break down the lyrics, my brother.
yes.
Yes.
So that's the beauty about
Who are
it.
the judges this time around?
Yes.
We haven't confirmed the judges
Yes.
yet, but we have different languages so far. We have Luganda, we have Swahili,
Yes.
we have French. Those are 3 different languages. The South African rapper, English. USA, English. Nigeria, still English, but we need to confirm if he's going to mix, then we have to get a Nigerian who understands the language.
Yes.
But of course, at the World Finals, we always have an international judge and 2 local judges. Yeah? Yes. And that's when we add on the extra judges for the languages.
Yes.
Because we judge so many things: the flow, the crowd response,
But
the delivery.
since it's hip hop, let me challenge you again.
Yeah.
Since it's hip hop, didn't the Bible tell us not to judge?
Not to judge.
Here it's like judging based on the competition,
Yeah.
not somebody's
it's not
deeds.
Of course he understands.
Because judging,
of course he
this
understands.
judging is different. Yeah.
I can't believe you just tried to explain that.
You would have told him in the Bible there is the book of Judges.
That's a good comeback.
Is it there?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is there. It is
There is.
Yes.
Nah, I was
Yes.
about to see Kamani.
Kabuka judges.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's always unique having such competitions, and it's always fun. Me personally,
Yeah.
I'm a fan of end of the week MC challenge,
Yes.
especially when it comes to grab bag. Yeah, and this time around, I'm going to be one of the people organizing that grab bag. Yeah, I want to put
take a
things.
muchi. What should you put in there? Yes. Ochagala tutekemu.
Chino bamu
Not
bag.
bagenda kulaba podcast, then they're going to prepare themselves. So when that
prepare
bag
for that
comes, you're going to be like, they said that will be a cup.
But we can put something.
We can put
different.
something. Yes, we can. We can definitely.
You are always not aware of what you're going to pick from the bag. Yeah,
Yes.
and sometimes.
What you see is what you don't get.
Yeah, and sometimes we even put like locally here. There's a way we organize grab bags. We usually put things that flow. Yeah, for example, if you pick soap, the next thing can be a changwe. Then the next thing can be a comb. Then out of the blue you pick a deodorant.
Oh,
Like
So like somebody has to tell the story.
you come up with
yes.
like
An
it
interesting
challenges
story.
you to yeah, like for example, after picking, let me say, when you start with deodorant, like for example, it can be mbadde explaining anti nonne kuba ekiwoowo nenzijukira ate sabuni gwe nsooka okunaabisa. You understand?
So you're telling them to come with a story on the spot. Yes,
exactly.
That's really interesting.
That's what we usually do, and
you must be rapping on the beat.
Yes.
and that makes us unique.
And
as
it's
a
spontaneous.
Ugandan chapter,
That's really unique.
because
That's really
even
unique.
them at the international level, they always questioning that how
are you
do
guys doing
they
this?
organize something like that.
Yes.
Because someone picks a knife, and the next thing is going to be a potato. Or then the next thing is going to be like a charcoal stove or or a saucepan. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's always unique.
But to me that makes sense because you're thinking as a storyteller.
Exactly.
You're like, how did you reward Olinga Tarantino, Bagamba Chapteno, Deno, arrange them into a story to make sense.
So it's always
That's
fun.
really dope.
It's always
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Okay, that's just like Asasi.
Yes.
Or anyone there who would love to compete.
To be a part of this
To be part
competition.
of the competition.
Yes.
The next competition.
So how much is it to enter?
No, entering is free of
Entrance
charge.
is free.
No. Hey, the event.
Yes.
The event, first of all, will be happening at Motive on 30th May 2025.
Yes.
It will be a Friday. Ngoma zokola bulungi. Then later in the evening, you're Saleko. But
Friday, 30th of May at Motive. For the people who don't know where Motive is, where
Motive
is
is in industrial area.
Yeah.
I'd call it Old Port Bell Road over before crossing over to Bugolobi. Yes, it's around there next to Masanyalaze, former UEB. Around there, it's now UEDCL something. Yeah, it's around there. It's a very unique place, very dope place.
So Olagiri Deba Futsubishi.
Yeah.
Now direct the people with the
Okanyoma.
with the Mitsubishi.
With the Mitsubishi.
Yes.
Coming from town, you just take that road, industrial area. I'll confirm the street. But entrance is just 20,000 UGX. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But before 6 p.m., we have a discount. You just need to pay 15,000.
Okay.
Only. And it's not all about just the competition. We have extra performances from different artists. Yeah.
Yes.
We are we have a variety. Me personally, I'll be performing. St.NellySade. We have Sylvester and Abrams.
Yes.
We have Keiko. We have Navio. We have Price Teba. We have Tushi.
You have the mayor there.
Yeah.
The mayor of Pyong Records.
Pyong is there. I mean, we have Atlas. We have and then surprise guest artists. Yeah.
Yes.
We have even artists traveling as far as from UK. We have Apex Zero. Representing London. He's one of the baddest. Representing R1 Farm. Yeah?
Yes.
R1U Farm. Yeah?
Yes.
We have Sledge Lee traveling all the way from South Africa who'll be performing. And Sledge Lee is the former world champion. Yeah? He won end of the week world finals in 2014.
Yes.
In Uganda, hosted in Uganda. And he is the only African who has ever won the world finals. Yeah.
Wow.
He's
That's
still the
amazing.
only African, unless we change the narrative.
He still has his world record.
Yeah. So maybe the South African champion will rewrite history, but he's still standing as the only African winner, world winner.
Oh, Lyrical G, I see, is also performing.
Yeah, we have Lyrical G,
the OG.
legendary. He'll be performing.
Yes,
actually.
yes.
Lyrical G has been part of End of the Week since day one. Yeah.
Yes.
And yes, most of those performers you see have been part of End of the Week at some point. Yeah, the likes of Tushinaba Chala, who was once a competitor during the all-females MC Challenge way back.
Yes.
Then Keiko has been part of the MC Challenge. Then Navio has been with us for so many different preliminaries and national finals.
Yes.
Yeah, then Sylvester and Abrams, of course, they have been with us. Price Teva was once a competitor.
So nearly everybody starts from here. And this is where the MCs hone their skills.
Exactly.
Basically, obedanga aingide mu dojo.
A test full of skills. Yeah.
So it's like how you watch those old Chinese movies and the person first gets whooped.
Yes.
Then they enter, they go see a master. Now then they learn the skills, everything.
Exactly.
Then they come back.
Baptism of fire.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are the I've forgotten my train of thought, which I was going to ask about end of the week, but I was going to say, so there's parking at Motive.
Yeah, there's
plenty of parking, right? Who is doing the production? That's what I wanted to ask.
It's called it's on the flyer.
It's on the flyer. So check out for the flyer. The flyer is going
Flawless.
to be Flawless.
Flawless Creatives.
Flawless Creatives is doing the production.
They are going to be doing the whole production, from the lighting, from the sound, the screens. I mean, actually, it's going to be one of those rare sounds as far as hip-hop production is concerned. We want to bring out something different from the usual end of the week productions.
Is Flawless new? Who owns Flawless?
Flawless has been there. Actually, Flawless is one of those companies where most of these major companies get equipment from, but most people don't know. Like for them, they have all the equipment. So most of those big events companies
borrow from these guys.
From Flawless. So it's huge in that sense.
So Florence Ona Sulawa. Ladies and gentlemen, end of the week, May 30th.
Yes.
Show up at Motive. Come dripped out. Come ready to check out some very interesting MCs.
Yeah.
The Baboon Forest crew will also be there to interview people.
Yes.
And also watch and enjoy this.
Yes.
We'll be keeping an eye out for MCs who are great.
Yes.
Because we love seeing MCs who are amazing.
Yes.
Great MCs come through. Enjoy your time. More details, we'll be sharing the flyer on our social media handles.
Yes,
And
please.
yeah, see you out there. May 30th. Tugenda kubera mu kizimbe end of the week.